And we are back. Dark Side of the Kingdom, episode 6. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a video game podcast about video game culture, people who play video games. My name is Dean.
And I am Percy. Hey now.
Hey, we are back. Joined again, special guests.
Mike Steele.
One Mike Steele.
Hey.
Ian Morris.
Ian Morris.
Hi.
Welcome
up,
back.
Internet?
Welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back, Internet. Another week.
Welcome back, Internet.
Internet,
We missed ya.
everybody.
We missed you. Feels good to be back, gentlemen. We are part of the drainage.net, is kind of the home base. Did some new stuff, new maintenance this week, right off the top. New YouTube page. Pretty fun. We got some interactive videos.
People keep talking about that. I was at the bank. I was depositing $100,000. No big deal.
Yeah.
And the lady's like, "Oh, you must work for the drainage because they're so popular that's how you got all this money, right?" And I was like, "No, but I've heard of them too."
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm glad you brought it up. It's been 2 weeks since you've been here last. A lot has happened. I'm assuming that the drainage net has gotten only bigger. More people are talking about the drainage.
Yeah. People don't even call it the internet anymore. They call it the drainage.
Yeah. New on the drainage, new review. Not quite video games, but I'll throw it to you, Percy.
New review?
New review on the drainage? You want to
Oh, yes.
pour it out?
Sorry.
Custom writing.
Want me to
Sorry.
slut it up, whore it out?
A little bit.
Yeah, I did do a Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm excited.
Nice.
I did do a review of the goddamn Queens of the Stone Age. I did a review for them on the Drainage. So if you guys,
Just them as a
if
band.
you guys, yeah, them as a band. It's it. Josh is a very sexy man. And
Okay.
no, I reviewed the album. It just came out like clockwork. So if you guys are interested, please go check them out.
What's a quick review?
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's enough.
Go buy it.
Buy it. Cool. Back to
Read
video
the
games.
review first, then buy it. Come on.
There you go. Yeah. You don't have to.
How
but
high is the fun factor?
The fun factor? I think it's an 8.3.
Ooh.
It only goes up to 5.5, but
Yeah.
okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, fun factor for an album, that speaks a lot, speaks volumes.
That's good.
Video games, also speaking volumes. Gentlemen, everybody fumbling all over the place. Jesus Christ, it's hot in
Except
here.
for me.
It's summertime. Mike, you're not fumbling? What you been playing this week, man?
I've been playing a little bit of Fuse. Ooh. I've been playing a little bit of Oracle of Ages.
Ooh.
And I tried out the Rocksmith because we got it for like $5 on GameFly.
Don't know about the Rocksmith.
That's one where you like plug a real guitar in.
Okay.
Quick review. It's like, you know, everyone's always trying to make the games like, oh, it's we're gonna gamify something. You don't realize you're practicing. It does a good job of that.
Yeah.
And that's my review.
That's a hell of a review there, buddy.
Is that the guitar game that teaches you how to play? Or is
Yeah,
it still,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, honestly, it does a good job of
Nice.
It's got on-the-fly difficulties, so like someone who actually already plays, because I play bass, I plug it straight in, and as I play, the difficulty jumped up, and then when it felt like I was like, oh, you don't know how to play this, it jumps back down. But it really is game. Like it's better than it's the same as practicing, but it feels like a game. So that was cool.
Okay. And the actual,
And then
the controller, is it strings, buttons?
it's your
a real
physical
guitar.
real
Oh, shit.
guitar. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A
There
real
you go.
guitar or a real bass. That's kind of its angle. It's supposed to. They say it's a teaching tool, not a game, but I mean it's clearly sort of a game. And then playing a lot of Fuse,
Let's talk
which
about Fuse.
just came out.
Fuse.
I'm a big Insomniac fan. I really like the Ratchet and Clank games. I really liked the first Resistance, and I stand by the third Resistance as one of the best games on the PS3, bar none. I think it's the closest thing I'm ever going to get to a Half-Life 3, because Half-Life 3 is never going to come out.
Hey, I'll stand behind you on the Resistance 3.
Thanks,
I'm down.
man.
I love
Resistance
it.
2 dipped down a little bit, right?
Yeah,
I
two.
didn't play
Quality-wise.
2. I played 3. I enjoyed 3, but I wasn't like blown away by it.
I really liked
2, I
it.
mean, 2
It
was
has a good shotgun though.
yeah, I mean,
so-
2 wasn't bad.
That's
3
good.
was pretty badass,
No.
and especially if you had tried it with the 3D, it was fucking
Yeah.
cool.
I like that the storyline is, oh, we lost, and shit is bad.
Yeah.
And it's not getting better anytime
Like,
soon.
Nope.
The winning is just like, well, maybe we'll survive a little bit longer. The game's over.
That's
Yeah.
probably the best part about
But
it.
yeah, so this is kind of them doing their thing. Their whole thing is always weird weapons.
Weird weapons, really good weapons, a lot of personality in the characters.
Yeah.
Kind of decisive. One of the things that I've seen is that, especially from the outside looking in on this title, not a lot of personality in the game itself.
Yeah, that's kind of the big complaint. Some people, it's making a bigger deal than others. I'm surprised it's getting reviewed, not poorly, but people are... I don't know what people expected. I didn't think that this was going to be like, oh, storytelling 101. I'm going to be really invested in who these people are. Like, I expected to play a 4-player co-op game with cool weapons, and that's exactly what I've been playing.
I think where the people kind of got mad or pissed off about was when it first came around, Overstrike, when it was originally called, and the trailer they put out. I mean, it really didn't show any gameplay or anything, but it was like totally different, the art style and everything. People looked.
It was a lot more stylized, and it does seem a little
way
more
more
toned
stylized.
down.
Very Team Fortress, cartoony kind
No,
of.
not that type. I mean, they weren't. I mean, they were still kind of odd shaped, but they weren't too
It's kind
extreme.
of Incredibles, but like for adults.
Yeah.
Now, good weapons. We talked about weapons. Do the weapons translate?
Well, and that's kind of that's what the whole game is. And when you're playing with 4 people, it's pretty satisfying because you have the guy with the shield gun, and he's kind of like the anchor. Like you want to have something like that. Did you play Bullets? Did you guys play Bulletstorm?
Yeah, that's like the Epic Games. Very
Like
bullet
you know how
heavy.
there was the whole like you want to creatively kill guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that going on. If you shoot through a guy's shield or if someone has like every weapon does something, and if you use them in conjunction with each other or have one person's weapon trigger the other person's thing, like you get different like experience values for how you're taking guys out, and it makes you want to be creative and work together. And if you've got 4 people, I'm only playing with 3, but if you got 4 people, I'd imagine it's cool. But it's really fun with 3. And like I mean the story's not a big deal. It's not. It's whatever. It's typical.
Is the co-op built into the story, or is it like just arbitrary characters joining you, or is it?
No, like the characters are defined, like that you are one of 4 people very specifically. But there's no like, oh, we're in the, at least so far. There's no like, oh, we're in this room and you guys are in that room, and you have to flip the switch for us, or we're not in the same place. Like there's not been none of that so far. It's more just like sometimes one guy has to carry something, so the other people have to protect him while he gets there. But it's worked in really well, and I don't know. It's the third-person shooter that plays really well and has unique weapons, and I think that's fun to play.
I think there's room for that out there.
Yeah, it's no one's gonna be talking about it in 3 years or anything. Like no one's gonna be like, well, when's the next Fuse?
3 months, maybe.
Fuse 2 is going to be amazing.
Fuse 2.
Well,
Fuse
guess
2 might
I'm
not
wrong.
happen. I don't know.
But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a perfect end of a generation game. It's something to play with your friends. It's a company doing what they do best, and like I think that's all I ever expected from it. So that's probably why I'm a little more high on it than some reviewers out there are.
Did you play it on PS3 or
PS3.
360?
Just because my 360 disc tray is fucked right now, and so I'm kind of any game I can play on the PS3 right now. I'm just sort of playing on the PS3.
And I don't know, especially that game too, made by PS3 developers. You kind of want to think subconsciously it might play a little bit better on PS3.
Maybe you almost want to play it there because it's like, oh yeah, that's where they're familiar.
Well, this is their first game with going
multi-platform.
It was the first multi-platform. Well, and I think it's cool too because in a lot of ways that is probably what dictated why this game was a little more straight. Is that this is for a wider audience on multiple systems, and so they kind of have to introduce people to them like in a new way rather than having like a really cartoony filled like world like a Ratchet and Clank or something like Resistance. It's really dark and it's built over several games. They go, here's a game, you kind of feel familiar right off the bat. You learn this is what we like to do with weapons. We have tight controls. Play through it with friends, and then people will figure out who Insomniac are that aren't PS3 guys.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to come off too cartoony for all the people who haven't played their games because they don't want to get the whole feeling of, oh, they only make kids games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's what they make, huh? Who are these guys? Like,
so that's my guess of why they went with that different direction. Okay. I kind of wish they didn't, but
I didn't. I mean, I wish they stuck with that first over.
Yeah, the original trailer looked so much fun and
really
so much. It was oozing personality, but
and like you lost some of that, but I mean, in the long run, it is still like you were probably going to be playing. I would imagine exactly what I'm still playing.
Probably
just looking at different stuff. So I'm able to kind of look past it because of that.
I mean, that trailer it didn't show off gameplay. It just showed like stylized stuff.
So I would watch that movie. If that was a movie, I would watch that.
Well, and the gist of what that video showed you, like what you expected, is exactly what you're playing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You really get the feel of like, oh, so they're doing these things, and it's like you that translated over perfectly.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what it was. It was just that the way you're playing now is what was going to be in.
Yeah.
They just polished it with a different.
I definitely recommend, especially if you have a group of friends. It might be hard with 2 people.
I don't have a group of friends.
No. I'm not playing with
We're
you.
acquaintances, professional acquaintances.
But if you got some people to play with, it's probably a lot better. The AI, God bless its soul, it does its best, but there are some characters that you don't like. You don't want a computer-controlled shield guy because you want a human being who knows where to be shield guy, controlling shield guy. The other guys, you can, it's fine. You can switch any guy on the fly if you're playing 3 people at any point in time. D-pad, you can switch straight to another guy.
So sports
Same
style
thing.
like NBA Jam style? Or?
Yeah, so Gene will love
Okay,
that.
I like it.
Gene will be
That's
jumping
awesome.
around between characters like crazy.
Awesome.
Loving it a lot more now.
So the AI teammates are kind of shitty, but what about the AI?
Well, no,
enemy?
overall, it's really good. You don't feel like the enemies are stupid, and you don't feel like your partners are stupid. It's just the shield guy because he's super important.
I want to say it's tough to get like co-op
him.
AI kind of really nailed down. I'm hoping like next generation, that's one of the things that they really address is just AI in general, more behind the scenes stuff.
It's one of the big
Ian
things they
shaking
could
his head.
improve.
It would be nice.
It'd be nice. Yeah. We're wishful thinking.
I
the
think it's
new,
gonna be super hard to do.
The Last of Us, is the girl AI the whole time?
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
They're good at AI though. Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
That is true.
Quick
I mean,
aside.
getting better. I mean, look at Bioshock Infinite. I mean,
Yeah, that's-
Elizabeth, like she, you could leave her alone. She could handle herself. So I think it's
But
gonna
she's
be
also
insane.
invincible.
And she was always throwing you ammo, which might be the way to handle AI. You know? You touched on it a little bit, Insomniac, PlayStation developer. Do you think Ratchet and Clank Resistance, can those trickle out to multi-platform, or are those locked PS?
I don't think so.
I hope they stop making them. No offense
Right?
to those,
Right.
because I just think we need more new
New.
things.
Yeah.
I really like Ratchet and Clank, but when they announced the movie, it's like that might be them being
Oh,
done.
yeah,
if
they're
it
making
is
a movie.
I didn't even
like
know
a
that.
theatrical film, like
Yeah,
a CG.
yeah,
like,
but I think it's being put out by Sony too. So.
yeah, well, and it makes sense, and I think that's kind of them going like, you know what? We still like this stuff, but we don't necessarily need to make games for this anymore to keep this stuff going. Let's do something else. Because they're really, really smart guys. They do
yeah.
really unique things, and I think they could build another world. Resistance never really caught on the way they wanted it to, but I think they did some good stuff with it. And I think these guys can make another game. So I kind of agree. Like, I don't need them to. I like Ratchet and Clank a lot, but I don't need them to make.
I want to see
another
what they
one
do
of
next. I just want to see.
Yeah.
I hope they just go crazy. I know, and it's harder to do nowadays because of budget restrictions. I'm like,
those. Yeah.
how are you going to get financing for something crazy? But I hope they do something crazy.
Well, they clearly think outside the box with the way they make
Definitely.
stuff, and I would love to see a developer like that just kind of go like, hey, lock them in a room and say make something weird.
Yeah, maybe a downloadable initiative
Yeah.
title, smaller package of a
That'd be
game,
great.
just more.
Well, they have experience with that. They made
Yeah.
like 2 downloadable only Ratchet games.
really
sold very well.
Were they
They're-
like
They're good.
They were
actually.
like
Numbered sequels, more like
3
spin-off?
They were like kind of bridging the gap, like 3-4 hour long chunks of what you'd expect from a single player.
like time travel one? What was like one or what am I thinking?
You're thinking Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
Crack in Time.
There you go. That was downloadable.
It was all Ratchet stuff. It wasn't any of the because they always have Clank's like puzzle thing in each game, but they was more just focused on Ratchet platforming junk.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Cool. Fuse?
I'm liking Fuse a lot. I think that people should give it a shot and don't let the reviews turn you off because like if you don't go in there expecting story, then I think that's the
Yeah.
only thing that's gonna let you down.
You definitely sold me on it because at first, I heard some stuff, saw the trailer, and it seemed a little, but I'm sold. I'm interested. Tickle me intrigued.
I want to give it a try. I think it looks interesting. I'm going to grab some people and play together. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
And then afterwards, you could play Fuse.
Oh, I get it. I totally get it now.
Yeah.
See what you did there. So yeah, cool. Fuse. Was there another game in between Fuse and?
Oracle of
There you go.
Ages.
Okay.
Which you can buy right now for how much?
$5.
Until when?
I don't know.
The 20th, I think.
It says
So
short
it's a-
time.
it's
$1
later in the
off.
month.
Until the 20th.
But then
Act
it
now.
what jumps up like $1.
Get your $1 off. Yeah. So
Whatever.
I've been playing that as well. So
I downloaded
And-
it as well.
And
Oh.
you had played it back in the day.
No.
Okay, but Dean, you had never
played
either.
it.
Have
I've
you?
been wanting to.
No.
I
Okay.
attempted to play it. I bought it on eBay. I bought the Game Boy Color Seasons cart. Dead battery. I tried to open it up. Tried to put a new battery in. Loosened up the wiring. Cart's fucked.
That
so
sucks.
God damn.
Because I had never played Ages. I played Seasons when I was
Yeah.
a kid, and that was
Okay.
one is a little more actiony and one's a little more puzzly. Seasons is the puzzly one. So I downloaded. I downloaded both, but I'm playing through Ages now, just because it's not like a Pokemon thing. It's like they're very different games.
yeah. Played through Ages. Jumped in. I'm on the second castle. I guess I'll kind of scratch on it a little bit. Jump in on your toes here a little bit. I don't know, man. It's slow start at first. As far as like Zelda games go, Ian, we'll progress a little bit too. Felt very indifferent. It was kind of a roller coaster of emotions for the first half hour playing this game. Really didn't like it at all at first.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's weird because I've been
But it's-
sitting here thinking like, wow, this game has aged really well.
For me, I think
But I'm not a giant Zelda guy, so maybe it's
Yeah.
just me not having like been pumped full of Zelda that I'm willing to
Yeah.
like accept a little more.
I think it's more like the devil in the details about the game itself, like the character design, the enemy design, stuff like that. The character names, the music. It seems like a kind of like a lesser than alternate reality release of Zelda, like a mid tier,
a DSi
a lot of talking.
the CDI version Zelda.
Oh,
Actually,
God forbid.
The cutaways, there's like these cartoonish cutaways that
I
are
don't
very
mind.
They're
reminiscent.
way
look
better
good. I
than the
think they look
CDI
good.
thing, though.
But it makes me think of them, though. It makes me think
Not
of
as scary
the
looking.
Wanda Gamelon. But, you know, just like the music is not really good, especially for a hand, you know,
I mean, it is a
wasn't-
Game Boy Color
But no,
game.
I mean, Link's Awakening is great. You know, just these touching
That's
little,
true.
these great little melodies. Just really annoying music. I don't know. And then, but it's beat the first dungeon, progressing through the game, and it's starting to grow on me. I'm kind of accepting it for what it is, like an 8.5-ish type Zelda, not like the best Zelda kind of experience. I think another thing that kind of threw me for a loop too was just like, since it was made for the Game Boy Color, like there's a real like bold colors in the game.
Yeah.
Like everything is literally either green, blue, or red. Like bright green, bright blue, bright red.
it's like
Enemies,
solid, the
against-
whole thing,
So
yeah.
it's a little like aesthetic wise, a little jarring, but you know, whatever.
It's nice not having to
Whatever.
like take it and like kind of angle it like with a lamp in the corner of your room, like get it to hit just right so you can see the screen.
Yeah. So you said you've been playing it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I'm in the exact same spot you are, but again, like I'm not. I don't dislike Zelda games. I just am not good with. I'm bad at puzzles. I'm just not good at solving puzzles in games. And Zelda games, I always get that part where I'm like, too many puzzles. And sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. Like, I don't know if that's why I liked Wind Waker. I don't know if that's an easy Zelda game. Is that an
Less
easy?
Here's a trick for Zelda games. If you're in a room, kill everybody. If that doesn't open the door, there's probably a button under a pot.
Button pot. And that's
Bomb every wall.
But I always hit that wall at some point in time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of why I don't like God of War games. I like when I'm fighting dudes, and then all of a sudden I have to start pushing blocks around. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I don't dislike Zelda games. It's just that some of them are more pushing blocks than others. And Wind Waker, I don't know. I felt like it held my hand enough during the puzzles where I never, as a dude like that, I was able. I enjoyed it from the beginning to end. So I've never been a huge Zelda guy in this game. I don't know. It feels like it's doing the same thing.
yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's old. I don't know what it is, but I'm having fun.
Handheld. I mean,
For $5, I
absolutely. Like once I got into the dungeon's good. Ian, where are you at with the game? Like, how are you feeling? Zelda guy.
I downloaded it. I turned it on.
Oh, this,
I watched the intro where I think it's Din who's dancing in the Ages.
Seasons. I think you're on seasons.
Whatever one
Din.
Din's in. She's dancing, and then you fall asleep because you danced too hard.
Okay,
and then
yeah,
I
that's
saved and
Seasons.
stopped because I just wanted to see how it would look on my XL because I was afraid
Yeah.
that because it's gonna be bigger on my screen,
yeah.
I was afraid it wouldn't look really great. So I'm like, I'm only gonna download one of them, see what it looks like, and if it looks good, then I'll download the other one, the Ages or Season, whatever one I didn't download, and it looked fine. I'm like, yeah, I'll get both of these, and then I haven't gone back to it. I'm gonna get to it this week though. It's on my list.
With handheld games, in a lot of cases, I always have them as like my standby. Like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I don't have any other games to play.
Yeah.
I've got
It's a good like
10,
hand
15 minutes, and the way they do virtual console stuff on the 3DS works really well
Oh,
because
yeah.
you can do like the ROM style save status anywhere you are. So it's nice. Like a lot of the game I've played in like 5-10 minute chunks.
Yeah, pretty good so far. Like I said, I'm on the second dungeon. Kind of going back to like the character names too. Kind of just like I don't know. I think Capcom's just such a different school of character design than Nintendo because like none of the characters aside from Link, you know, Ganon, the iconic Nintendo characters really kind of like leave impressions on me. Like the names are very forgettable. Very like the enemy design specifically too is pretty bad. The names like Impa, Naru, Ambi's really just very forgettable names.
The
And
only
it's just,
other-
I don't know.
The only other
But let me
Capcom
cut
one-
in here. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Impa and Naru are in every Zelda game. Like
Okay.
Impa is Zelda's
Is it-
guard in Ocarina of Time. They're like I don't know if they're a race of people, but they're always the guards.
Impa's a race. So it's coming
And
back
then
to me now.
Naru are the fish people.
Naru looks a little different in the game. She's
Yeah,
not a fish.
they're
Okay.
different looking in it, but they're always in those games. And like, there's Malin and Talon are always in it. Like they're either cities or things. So the reference, I just think you're
Okay.
missing it.
Okay.
Did you play Minish Cap? Because I know that was
I did
one
not
of the
play
other
Minish.
Capcom ones.
Did not play.
That's a
this.
fabulous game.
And yeah, I really liked. I had never played it, and then I got it when they did that ambassador thing, and so I played through that. And
Okay.
I actually really liked. Minish
Going back
Cap.
to
Maybe I am a Zelda guy. And
I think you are a Zelda guy.
I have all these Zelda
There you
games
go.
I actually like and have played through. I guess I am, and I just didn't know it.
I will say the character design specifically, the first boss in the dungeon I've never seen before. Very cartoonish, very not. Seems very out of place. It's basically like a pumpkin on it, but whatever.
I like.
you
I
spoiled
very-
I
Spoil
liked
alert!
him.
Spoil alert!
You throw his head and then you hit him.
Oh, what? You use the weapon you find in the dungeon on him? No!
Shut up.
When did that start?
So yeah, so interested to carry out, play both games, and we'll see.
I do feel like it's aged well though. Even like when you're like you have to switch stuff a lot, and since it's in a Game Boy game, it knows you don't have shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
It knows you have start, select, A, B, and a directional pad. But it's surprisingly easy to jump around through stuff. And I haven't found myself frustrated with having to switch around a lot, even though you can only do 2 things, which. It's smart game design when a game can be. How old is that game? Like 2001 or something?
2001 came out.
So it's like 12 years old or something.
That was still Game Boy Color in 2001.
I know, it's weird, right? I think the SP was like 2003 or 4.
I remember getting that.
Or maybe
having a huge
love
affair with that system because it's so good.
Yeah, it definitely came out 2001.
Because the first Game Boy Advance came out and like disappeared real quick because of how bad that no lighting screen is. So it's hard to remember when that's up. I want to say it's 2001 though.
Okay.
But yeah. So, but like, it's good to game design when 12 years later, like, it's even stuff like mechanics of menus and stuff, which is notoriously difficult to do for game design, is still works really well, even when we're used to having 1,000 buttons and good menus and stuff.
Cool. Percy, are you interested in Zelda or Legends of Seasons?
I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
I mean, it's like it's $5.
Yeah.
$5?
Yeah.
$5, $6, whatever.
Well, and you have to get $10 when you put cards on the 3DS, so it's kind of like going, just buy them all.
Well, I thought you could just
You get 20.
You can just buy. I thought you could just pay for what you want.
No, you have to pay for an amount of money. It's not like
It's not
PlayStation.
Xbox crazy wacky magic points,
Not
but
crazy points.
But you have the lowest amount you can get is 10. So that's
In PlayStation, you have to get at least over $5, don't you?
you have to. Well, you have to have.
You can buy exact amount.
Yeah, you can buy the exact amount. PS.
But I think it has to be over $5 though.
Yes.
No,
I'm pretty sure it does.
You have to have at least $5 in your wallet.
I don't think so.
It's something ridiculous because I tried to buy one of those minis, and they wouldn't let me do it unless I had $5.
Well, whatever.
If you're buying something less than $5,
Semantics.
it makes you go. But if you're buying it, it's
Okay.
better. It's
All right.
it's easily the best one.
$5. All right, got it.
We're hoping that the new system
I'm
go
gonna-
back to money and we spend
Yeah.
money on things.
I would love if
So
I
it
could
does
start
that.
spending money.
I'm actually looking forward to play it. I mean, I did look at, but I looked at the little thumbnail screenshots they have on the eShop, and the colors kind of threw me off. You were
Yeah,
saying, like,
it's
I was
Well,
like,
it's weird seeing a Game Boy Color game
Yeah.
on a screen where you can see what it was supposed to look like.
because
Yeah.
even like was it Link's Awakening DX? It came out. It wasn't as jarring though. Like
Yeah.
No, well, again, and I'm not even saying as a joke.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't see what you
Yeah.
were supposed to see on that screen
'Cause the
it was
reflection.
Not, yeah,
It
the
was-
reflection, so everything was really drab and
like, sucked
and
in
washed
light.
out and stuff. So when you're seeing what they saw when they were developing and what
Yeah,
they wanted it to
it's-
look like, it's kind of
Way better.
it's pretty wild. I mean, like
yeah, I don't know. It just, it kind of threw me off. I was like, I don't know if I want to get it because this looks really weird. But
Yeah, I got used to it real quick.
yeah, it's $5, and then like especially
Yeah,
when you're in
exactly.
the dungeons, it's like all brown dirt, and you're like pushing around red blocks, and like something's green. It's like you hit something's blue.
Hints.
Come on, man.
No, I mean, it looks cool. I mean, like I said, just the colors look weird, but you guys are gonna, I'm gonna pick them up. So
Just and quickly too, when you guys play these Game Boy Color games, do you guys hit the select on your 3DS? Do you guys do the simulated virtual screen?
What,
Do you
what
know what
does
I'm
it
talking
do?
about?
No,
Where
I
you-
do
where
not.
you- I don't stretch it out. I do the original size.
Yeah, if you hold select and you boot up on the 3DS game, what it will do is it will give you like a mock Game Boy Color screen, and it does like this cool
Oh,
3D
cool.
effect.
I gotta try that.
It's pretty sweet.
yeah,
I'm gonna try that when I get home.
Awesome.
Little Easter egg, and it kind of has it's like the natural pixel ratio,
Yeah.
so it's a lot cleaner and crisper. I would assume it would be a lot better on the XL because it does shrink down.
Yeah.
It's like
and
two
yeah,
matchbook
and
size.
if you jack up your 3D, like the
Yeah.
Game Boy Color face sort of pops
Yeah.
out.
That's
a
cool.
little bit.
It's cool.
very subtle, very cool.
And check that out then.
Also does that with the Game Gear as well.
You could do that if you have a DS Lite and you have a
Easter
Game Boy
eggs.
Advance.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a it's very hot in Las Vegas. It's very hot in this room. We're working our way through. Ian, what you got planned, sir?
Other than Zelda,
There you go.
I still playing Resident Evil 6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
It's self-inflicted. Though.
I just
sounds like
I'm beating it with my brother. We're not having a terrible time. I mean, we're yelling a fair amount at the screen. Like I think
No.
Capcom wanted us to.
As they always do.
We just beat Leon's campaign, which apparently was supposed to be the most Resident Evil out of the campaigns, and I'm gonna disagree. It is.
Well, once you play them all, it'll
Okay,
make sense.
okay. So I beat the Leon campaign. I started Chris. I think we're almost done, Chris. Actually, we're like in the 5th chapter. They had some really great ideas, and I think when they're back, like planning it out on the chalkboard or whatever, they were like, "We're gonna do this and this and this." And hypothetically, if they really did a 100% job, it would be amazing. they didn't hit any of their goals.
On paper, RE6 seems like a good idea. If you were to describe some of the stuff, it seems like a good idea. And then you're playing it and you're like, oh no, why am I doing this? And then like the things are happening, you're like, oh, what?
Yeah, okay.
What's going on?
So the Leon campaign, we had the most trouble with. We died a lot because there's a lot of... Whenever Capcom wants to be cinematic is when you're going to die. Because they're like, okay, we need to get this really cool angle here. Something's going to kill you and you're not going to be able to stop it no matter what. And you're going to have to do it 3 times before you figure out where you're supposed to be. That totally sucks. And it's really frustrating. Like there's one part where you come outside and there's people being... What's interesting about the game is there's normal humans in it instead of everyone just being zombies.
The world feels populated.
Yeah, it feels populated.
It's really interesting.
So there's a part where these 3 people are being surrounded by zombies, and you run outside, and Leon, being all Leon, is like, we need to go save these people. And the girl that I'm playing as the girl, my brother's playing as Leon, and she's like, I guess we'll help. So we run over there to save them, and then you save them, and as soon as you save them, out of nowhere, this ambulance comes and crushes you into the wall. And you have no time to react, and you have to realize you have to be on the other side of the gas station so you don't die. That is so frustratingly annoying. Like, it's not like they give you even...
It's not even a quick time event.
Yeah, it's not a quick time event.
It's just like, oh, well, here
I
comes
hope
the
you like to get
ambulance.
fucked. Get ready. Here it comes.
You know, I'm playing that right now too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a totally different opinion than you guys. I don't know why. I mean, I liked...
There's no way you like this game.
So far.
I saw your trophy list post up, and I'm like, he's doing it for trophies. He's doing it for trophies.
Trophy.
I like Resident Evil 5. I know, but
I know.
I
actually
like 5.
all right,
I actually
awesome,
like
cool,
5.
cool.
No,
I mean, like you said, the ideas were kind of what they were wanting to do with this game. How you have like the 3 different campaigns for the different people, whatever. It did look cool. It sounded cool, and so far, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, Resident Evil, like the story.
How far are you?
Always.
How far are you?
I'm past that part.
Okay.
Resident Evil 6,
The story,
not that bad.
The story is completely
I
nonsensical.
disagree.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this story gets when you get
Resident
to
Evil
you get to the end of the story of this campaign, it's completely nonsensical. You literally
It's Resident
Even
Evil.
by Resident
no,
Evil
even by Resident Evil
standards.
standards, it makes no sense. You get to an end, you're like, okay, I guess we did something. Like,
It just feels like, oh, it's a level. Now I'm doing another level. Now it's
it
over.
literally feels like a level, and they had a really great opportunity to cross-mingle these concepts and make it really cool. Like, there's parts in it that are done really well. Like, there's a part where you're running through the Neo umbrella, which is the new umbrella. Clever name, I know. And you're running through, and at the same time, Chris and his partner is running through. So if you are fast enough, you can. There's a part you have to get to an elevator, and whoever gets there first gets a quote-unquote easier route. So while you're running to the elevator, Chris beat us, and we lost, and we had to take the long way. But when we played as Chris, we played it again, and when we won, and Leon is still playing in our campaign, even though we're not playing as him anymore, which I think is really, really clever. Like they had some really nice touches where you're all intermingling, and it's cool crossover. At the same time, it's a good way to save on art assets, so you don't have to rebuild things. So you can be like, you guys are just to the left of these guys. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as like, here's an alley, here's an alley, here's an alley, and each group is in a separate alley. There's huge changes in locations and stuff, but I just felt it wasn't very scary. I was more angry with how they chose to do these jump scares at you, because you're just like, well, that was unblockable. I couldn't do anything against that. I couldn't stop that.
So it felt unearned,
It
basically.
felt unearned. And you get to the end, it's just nonsensical. And what's really, really crazy, and I just figured this out because I was playing it today, the logo of 6 is people tied up in spider webs, right? Mm-hmm. That's what the 6 is made of, is people. You don't fight one spider in the Leon campaign. Not even one.
Damn.
Okay, so I started. So I started Chris's campaign. Chris's campaign's way better.
Yeah, it is a lot
feels
better.
more
because
like-
you can just run and gun a lot of it, and that.
So what you're saying is
if
if it had spiders, it'd be a better game?
No, I'm just surprised that you.
Well, I thought that's what it would be like. Leon's was more like the Resident Evil,
scary.
and then
It's not.
And then Chris was more action based.
Chris is more like a
Resident
Gears
Evil
of
5
War.
style.
Like the monsters are more like aliens, and there's way more clever alien, like not alien,
Like mutant
zombie designs things, and it's done really, I think, better. And I think because they have a great engine. If they took that engine, made a better story, they could
looks
they could have made an amazing third-person shooter if they did it like Chris's style. Say it was Aliens or something else, they could have done something really, really good. And no, they're really good.
It's your platform. Debate.
There's two.
Get
No, well, that's his fault.
Yeah, there's the two
I'm
parts
joking.
that I didn't like about it is there's vehicle sections, and I was just blown
Oh
away.
my
Why
God,
you have
how
vehicle
bad are
sections.
those,
Okay,
right?
so there's a driving section, right?
Oh no.
And in the car, you can strafe. You're in a car, and this isn't drifting. You can strafe, and you can hold down your accelerator the entire time and make every turn no problem whatsoever. You never need to hit brake. it just feels so wrong when you're driving. And then later you're flying a jet. I'm not in Battlefield. What the hell are we
Now,
doing?
is there a lot of ratio of driving and...
No, there's only like sections of it, but it's just random that's in there. Like it could have just been a video.
It should have. I mean,
Just video,
especially for a Resident Evil game, it should have just been QuickTime events.
Yeah,
Like,
even the QuickTime events.
Like, I don't like QuickTime events, but if it's a Resident Evil game and these sections are so half-baked and unoriginal
It's
and
just filler.
short
Just
and they
total
don't
filler.
happen, like, why not just make them QuickTime events? Because that's what they usually do with this type of stuff.
Yeah, especially if it's not gonna be-
or it's just like on rails shooting, like, you know, like you're in the car just shooting at something chasing
In
you.
previous Resident Evil games, they've done these exact sections, except you're not in control of them.
Yeah.
And for some reason you are, but they're less interesting and way worse.
Way worse. Okay, so here's
all right,
this is the only bad.
You found me out. I'm doing this for trophies, right? Fuck all of you.
No, I'm not hating it as much as I've read on the internet.
I
Like,
hate it. It was one of my least favorite games.
Well, you
last
beat it,
year.
right? You beat the whole.
I gave up.
Okay.
I was like, fuck this game.
We're gonna beat it because me and my brother like co-op. We're
I'm
just
gonna
gonna beat
beat
it, even though it's not gonna be amazing. Okay, so you get to fight these monsters in both campaigns. That when you shoot, they break into different parts and they crawl after you. One part's a hand and it will literally crawl on the ground like the Thing from the Addams Family, or the legs will just walk after you and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're fighting those, and while you're fighting them, it's like a boss type fight, and they don't ever stop coming. But you have to find 3 keys to get past this door, right? And you're in like China Market. So I'm doing it with my brother, and the creature gets stuck on the geometry and never comes at us the entire time. Where it's supposed to be this, like the music's all high symphony, like and we're walking around like we got all day because this thing is not coming close because it's stuck in the geometry. So we do that, and then later you have to do it again on a different area with Chris and his partner, and you have to get 3 keys, odd enough, and the monster's there again, same monster, but it's like obviously a different mutation, and it's not scary at all. Like, they made this monster, instead of it being like, if it was a classic Resident Evil, you'd be like running for your life, like scared. You're like, we need to run. Do not turn around. Do not turn around. This one, you're like, no, we're good. It's only legs. We're totally fine. But the best part of the campaign that I'm enjoying is you fight a snake, which is like a throwback to the original Resident Evil. But it's invisible, the snake. And the only way you can see it is if you shoot your laser sight at it, and it diffuses it really cleverly, and it's a really clever. It makes it actually kind of scary. You're in a room and you know and it's a giant snake. So you're shooting all at the ceilings, trying to find this snake before it kills you. So it makes it really intense, and that was probably the best part they've done so far in terms of making it feel kind of Resident Evil-y. But I wish they took the Chris campaign when they were making it, and were like, let's make a different game and we can make something cool, because they could have.
During your story, you said it won't stop coming, doing it with my brother, and big giant snake. Just a heads up.
That's why I've let him talk. We don't want no over voices.
Well, I looked at Dean and I was like, I think Dean
together.
noticed a couple of those.
A few of them. I laughed at myself
I
a
feel
little bit.
really dirty.
And you should.
Resident Evil 6. In conclusion, it sounds like
It's
overcomplicated.
Yeah,
Maybe just focus on one story.
Lackluster.
I think if they were going to focus on one story, I would hope they wouldn't do Leon's story. Because it's not original enough, and it's not written well enough. And then, forgot to tell you this. The beginning,
It's like I'm going
the
again.
intro to Chris's campaign is the most atrocious thing. It's so melodrama. And it's 30 minutes before you even get to start shooting. It is so terrible.
Yeah, it's long.
You just go through it, and you're like, it's all about Chris's team trying to get Chris back, because he's apparently an alcoholic and they never explain it. And you're like, he's gone through so much shit that you'll never even know through Raccoon City and his sister and then the Code Veronica bullshit, that he's allowed to be an alcoholic. You should let that guy drink himself to death.
Honestly, all of them allowed to be on something.
Is there actually is there through canon? Is there like a Bible for these stories? It sounds like
there's a story, but
it sounds like much ado about nothing.
they actually
really
do a
worked
part
up.
from the movie that's in the video game. You know the part in the movie where the lasers come
I
and
was
cut people?
what's the only good part from the movie?
They do that in the game. Yeah,
the weird-
and you have to slide through it. And it's
cool.
actually kind of cool, but it doesn't kill you if it hits you. It just does damage. But the part that you go before that, they do a character outfit change. So Leon looks more like Leon in Resident 2, and your partner looks a lot like Claire from Resident Evil 2. Purposely. And I'm like, even this is not going to save this game.
Yeah.
I know you're trying.
That
but
game was so bad.
But by the next episode, I should have hopefully everything done and put it down. Did you play Ada Wong's thing yet or no?
My buddy who was able to power
Stomach
through
it.
that game, he said that he actually liked it a lot.
Is Ada's 2-player too, or only 1-player?
Yes.
Okay, I want to see her part.
Who's the other guy? Jake?
Jake.
Did you go through his?
Wesker's son.
Yeah.
You-
His is a Resident Evil Nemesis. The
Yeah, that's what I
whole
heard.
campaign, some assholes chasing you, but it's not fun.
God damn.
When they originally had the trailer for that, I thought that was going to end up being Hunk, which I thought would have been awesome.
That
You know,
would've
the
been
hidden character
cool.
Hunk. Who's
That would've been
he's
really
my favorite
cool.
Resident Evil character. He's a total badass.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish they made him in it instead of that.
Would have been awesome.
Would have been awesome.
Could have, should have,
Or
would have.
bring
Resident
tofu.
Evil 6. Very decisive
So
title.
Resident Evil 7. Oh my god.
Hey.
It's coming, you know it.
Hopefully
Oh
they
my
give it
God,
some. Give it a rest a little bit.
Yeah,
No,
like,
no,
dude,
they made too
reboot.
much
That's
money.
a series that you could reboot so easily.
They did.
That series is so up its ass. Like
Yeah.
you could reboot that series so easily.
They just need to stop with the numbers.
No, that's the best part when you
Resident
load it
Evil-
up and then all of a sudden you go Resident Evil 12.
Yeah.
And you're like, you didn't have to say 12. You could have just stopped at Resident Evil. I don't think that has the pull that Biohazard does in Japan. Like,
That's such a cooler name.
yeah,
Yeah.
goddamn ban ruined everything.
You fuckers.
What
And that's what I was playing.
What have you been playing, Dean?
Well, we touched on it. I jumped on your toes a little bit. Some Legend of Zelda. Enjoyed that. Also playing another 3DS downloadable title. It's kind of a slow week, but downloadable title. It was on sale. Aero Porter. Did you guys see this?
Aero Porter.
It's a level 5 puzzle game, Japanese puzzle game. It's
Ooh,
kind of
I
like
like level
I like
5.
level
they got like this new initiative that they're doing like new downloadable games like 2 a month.
Yeah, I saw. Well, they
And,
had a
Yeah,
lot.
that
They had
scary game
Grasshopper
now.
do a couple. They had
Starship Damaray.
Yeah, this was really good.
looks awesome.
Pseudo did a couple.
Yeah, and this is-
Platinum did a couple.
Yeah, so this is another lineage in that series. Basically, it's a airport simulator kind of puzzle game. Very less is more, very simple, kind of like the whole crux of the game mechanics is basically you're shuffling and sorting luggage. So it's basically
Whoa, slow down.
Very
there.
fun,
You
very fun.
described
When
the
does the
luggage
fun
puzzle
happen?
game. The
That's,
crux of this
Yeah.
luggage sorting game.
Resident Evil 6, Legend of Zelda, Fuse. Airport simulator. Guys, hey man,
Luggage.
I'm bringing the old man
The
to the
ultimate
podcast.
Tetris game.
No, I mean it sounds fun.
I'm a sucker for a very well-made puzzle game, and this is kind of a very well-made puzzle
I
game.
thought he was going to say he was a sucker for luggage. Louis Vuitton.
I like
all
well-made
the way.
luggage.
Pier 1 is going to be a future sponsor. Get your 15% off DSotK on Pier 1 website when you download. $20 or more, get 10% off. Aero Porter. I think I downloaded it for $2.99. I saw it. I was like, fuck, this game's like nothing. But it was on sale. $2.99. Puzzle game, Japanese. Fuck it, let's play it. You start off, basically, there's no like options, there's no levels. I don't know if these are ironic laughs or are you laughing at me?
I'm just picturing luggage handler simulator. Or
It's
something.
stylistically looks fun. So basically, there's one option you play or you don't. So you start and then
You play or you don't. Like
So-
most games.
Sounds like a rich game.
Turn
there's
it
no
on.
there's no
Turn it on
arcade
and turn it
mode.
off.
There's no time mode. There's no this. Basically, you're either playing or the system's in sleep mode. And so basically, your airport, you start off at the very level 1, and then you basically build up there. The more you play, the bigger your airport gets, the more levels you get. And it's just like I said, just shuffling luggage. You have like 2 different colored planes, 3 different levels, and you kind of like progress and you sort them up. And you basically have an up button and a down button. You can either have your luggage go up a level, down a level.
So it's like
A lot of eye contact, a
Burger
lot of ironic. Yeah, like Burger
Or
Time.
Tapper, yeah.
No, it's actually more Japanese, more cool, more
Well,
indie
yeah,
gameplay.
cool.
Emphasis on cool.
It's like Tapper, but fucking cool.
fucking badass, man. Great music.
Awesome.
But it starts off, like I said, you got like 3 or 4 levels, and then you have to like basically sort luggage. As you progress through the game, your airport gets bigger, so you have more levels. There's new mechanics introduced. It starts off at like level 8's kind of intensity, and only goes up from there. So
Is it like a Tetris-y
very
style? Like
narciss-
it'll keep going.
It'll just keep going. So when you first start playing, it's manageable. It's fun. It's you get into it. But fuck, instantly like as soon as your airport advances, you get like a whole nother.
fuck.
You get another level. You're getting like all this very aggravating game. But for the narcissists out there. Are the sadomasochists? if you're like abusing yourself with games, the
If you
Super
think
Meat Boy
highly of
crowd,
yourself, you should play this game.
it'll ruin your.
You can only play this game when you're staring in a mirror.
That's probably why I keep losing. So yeah, fun game, $2.99, downloadable
Everything's
title.
backwards. What the hell?
Well,
Downloadable
the eShop's
initiative.
sick. I mean, you should.
eShop's good, man.
Talking about eShop games, I mean, everyone's laughing because it's sort of a funny premise.
How's
but-
Resident Evil 6? Are we talking about that next?
I'd rather lay on
We
my
talking about that
back
next week too, Ian? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good eShop games that they just don't get any press anyway.
Yeah, I
so,
think so.
The gems out there are worth talking about.
And like I said, this initiative with the eShop, specifically these Japanese level 5 games, are really fun, original,
I played a
unique
couple
ideas.
of them. I really liked them.
Cool.
There was like a Panzer Dragoon one with like a princess
Oh,
robot
yeah.
chick or whatever.
Iron,
Iron Maiden or
something like that.
It's a Pantera or something.
No, it's something.
No, it was Iron.
It was a
Sky,
Metallica.
Awesome game.
Cold Chamber? No.
No, it was not the Cold Chamber. I think it was the Corn something. I don't remember.
And I watched some people play that Starship, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the game looks really
Looks awesome. You start off basically, you know nothing. You're in a dark corridor.
It even says like we're not going to explain things you're supposed to learn. Like
cool.
that's super cool.
Cool budget, downloadable initiative title. You're tweaking with some RSS feeds, boring stuff. Percy, what you been playing? What you been playing?
A bit kind of slow as well for me. I mean, but I did get a chance to. If you guys check out on the YouTube page, I got a chance to play the Last of Us demo, courtesy of God of War, Ascension, pre-order, whatever bullshit. But excuse me.
What's God of War Ascension?
The latest God of War game that came out.
Is it a PS3 game?
No, it's PSP.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's PSP.
I really didn't know.
Yes, it's PSP. Yeah. But yeah, Last of Us. Holy shit. I'm way more excited. I mean, I've been honestly like purposely not trying to play or see anything from the game.
I didn't even watch your video just because I'm trying to. I'm trying.
Yeah,
to get myself
exactly.
completely-
And I was like, once Dean put up the shit for the YouTube page, I'm like, fuck it, let's just do a playthrough. So captured it, and holy shit, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
That's good to hear.
Yes, you won't be disappointed. I mean, the story, everything seems cool. The main character controlling, what you're saying with what the hell's her name, Ellie, I think.
Ellen Page, yeah.
Ellen Page. There's like, you're running around to a city and it's just I'm gonna spoil it for you, whatever. But
What's a demo?
Just a demo. But you're going through a town. You're just trying to get from here to there for the most part. That's what it is. And on the way, you finally get the chance to see the enemies. They call them the clickers.
The plant monster thing.
Yeah, they call them the clickers.
Oh, they're plant monsters?
Yeah.
They look like they
like fungus is growing all over.
And
Totally.
Yeah, I haven't
like
seen
tree
any of the
bark
stuff in
skin
this
and
yet.
Yeah.
stuff.
Totally not zombies.
Yeah, they look all fucked up, but they're really creepy. Like
Get it.
That's kind of a joke.
He goes, they're not zombies, and you go, I know, right? Like you were going, he's like clearly being sarcastic.
I'm off this week. I'm off.
God damn. Anyway, enemies are awesome. Everything seems really solid for even just a demo. So I really can't wait for the game to come out. I mean,
one of the things I was a little worried about is does it, like, obviously it looks like it has the same realism as like an Uncharted game, like as far as the characters and stuff. How much does it feel like? Do you feel like you're climbing and jumping and moving like you did with Drake, or does it have its own feel? Not that I hate that, just I was curious.
It has its own feel. I mean, it's probably just the setting and everything, because with Drake you feel like athletic and you're running around, but this you're I can't remember.
A little more plotting.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the main character, but he's like an older guy, so he's not like ready to spry and jump around all crazied out. But it has its own feel and everything, and it's a good feeling. I mean, it's not. Like, it doesn't feel like Uncharted at all.
Because I was wondering, like, is it not reskinned Uncharted, but like I wonder how much of the
Same
movement
engine.
and, like how much of that was going to play out with the controls and the movement and stuff.
Interesting. Now, as far as dynamic goes, I watched the video. I watched a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
You start off with a woman, man, and a girl. Is that kind of like your main team throughout the game, or is that
Throughout this part
Like
of it,
part of the demo,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the main part of the demo. I don't think in the game. I think it's just gonna be you and the girl for the most part. But during this little section, it's just you three trying to get through.
is there any connection between the characters? Or are they just random people? Father-son dynamic? Or
At this point, I believe the woman and the man. I kind of wish I knew the names. It sounds so stupid. I guess they have a history together. I'm not sure if it was like a romantic thing going on, but they were part of a group at one point, and I think the main characters separated and kind of found this little girl on his way as he was adventuring off, and they kind of met up again, and something's going on here. So
Interesting.
but yeah, I mean the clickers are gonna. I think they're gonna be. They're really creepy and scary. So
That's actually good to hear because
Yeah.
like, with not like I'm like. God, I use this example a lot. I always say Joe something. Like I'm not Joe survival horror, but like that is one of those things that's that everyone's like those games don't exist anymore, and when they do, they get popular and then they stop being that way. And I was wondering like how are they going to balance mass appeal AAA release with survival horror elements?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there was a lot of searching. It seemed like there's a lot of like.
Well, my game, I love the search run everywhere, so that's how I play.
But more the horror elements, to be honest, is I was curious how they were going to deal with that. So it's good to hear you say like these guys are fucking
Genuinely
creepy.
scary.
Cause
They
I
are.
like that.
There's like different variations too. So I mean, the clickers are the ones that are just they're like just all planted out, fungus crazy out. Like their faces look like they're hollowed out, and the fungus is just taking over everything, coming out the arms, legs, everything. And there's other people that are just getting the disease or whatever it is, and they're just like wandering around all weird, and they make weird noises, like, and they run around all just crazy. But they can see you, but the clickers can't see. Like they have no eyes.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit in the gameplay from last E3. How like they don't know you're there, and that's kind of how you sometimes sneak around them or how you have to engage them.
They just do sound. They just if they hear you, then they'll come running. So there's the mechanics where you grab like glass bottles or bricks or rocks or stuff and throw it in a certain area so they can run to that and you get away.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's exciting to hear that the scary stuff is actually
and
really there.
A really cool feature they had was kind of like Batman's detective mode. Did you guys play Arkham City or Asylum? Yeah, they have like a detective mode where he has to get down low and he hears, and you can look around the camera. You can kind of see where each person is.
Interesting.
That's clever.
Yeah, and it's actually a really cool mechanic, and I don't know. I used it a lot to lure people in and take them out, and the violence is really brutal. Like you're smashing people with a pipe, and like their head just explodes off.
Well, we all saw the shotgun to the face that he.
That was crazy.
Well, you didn't see the aftermath. You just saw the spray. But one of the guys, I ended the video. I smashed this guy's face off, his head. And I didn't notice that first, but as he was laying there, usually blood you sprays or whatever. But as the body was laying there dead, I just saw a squirt of blood just.
Jeez.
And I was like, holy shit.
So it's grim. They really want to
it is brutal. I mean, it's awesome. So I did die a few times prior to capturing that. But it's when you do die, it seems kind of Resident Evil 4. Like it's really intense.
Like Tomb Raider, like they show a little thing happen.
Yeah. But when it happens, they didn't show the full aftermath. We're just like they come up to you, and it's over. So like you feel the intensity, and then it just shuts it off.
Like a Hitchcock film.
You just feel gross and creeped out. So it's gonna be an awesome game. I'm not sure how they're going about kind of describe the game, but it is definitely.
Well, that's been the hardest thing.
Exactly.
That's why they keep showing other people play it, because it's really hard to describe without showing too much or sitting down and being like, here, read this book about how this game plays. Like,
how's the voice acting?
Awesome. It's really good, but I mean, Naughty Dog's good.
Do you like the choices for the main character and the girl?
Oh yeah, they sound awesome together. I mean, it's the main character's voice is the guy from BioShock Infinite.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, yes. So he's the main character of the game, and he does an awesome job.
Good-looking asshole. Dude's so good-looking.
Good looks. He play guitar.
Who else does he play?
He does a lot of anime voice acting.
Oh, gotcha.
He's done a lot of stuff.
He's one of those voices you'll hear and you go, oh, he's one of those three guys with that voice.
Does everything.
Does he have anything to do with Cowboy Bebop?
He's done some Cowboy Bebop voices.
Sure, he's done it all.
Yeah.
I think he was a Nova in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as well.
At first, when I saw this game, The Last of Us, it seemed very like mass market friendly. Seems like it's really grim, really dark, very dirty. Is that going to affect the sales at all? You think?
I don't think so.
That's why I was saying. Like, I was curious when he mentioned that. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Because this is clearly they're aiming for a big. I
and
don't know if
switch.
they're going for a whole. We're making 3 of these. Obviously, if it gets popular, they would. But this doesn't like. I was surprised to hear him say it was really scary and stuff like that, because that's not what you get out of like mainstream AAA. Big developer coming off of Uncharted, like
maybe because it's at the end of the life cycle. You know, they're proven with the Uncharted franchise.
Taking a risk.
Because
awesome.
Uncharted.
The last hurrah.
Was there any like supernatural stuff in that?
Yeah.
There's weird stuff at the end of each Uncharted.
At the end of each one, they kind of go, "Oh, and here's the weird Indiana Jones crazy twist."
And then later in the next one,
it wasn't like
but
magical
here's
though.
how it is.
No. Well, there was.
It seemed that way.
The blue apes when they introduced those.
Yeah.
That's out of nowhere. You're like,
well, I know, but then later on you find out.
when you find out what it is, you're like,
It's the same with Uncharted 3 with like the skeleton dudes and.
It's not like grisly horror death scenes.
No.
So.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not really magic stuff. I mean, it's not.
I mean, it's got a
aliens.
lot of
I'm
buzz.
glad they're doing something different though.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean it was cool that just they decided to take a chance and
You were
it's
actually scared. When's the last time you played a
it's-
game that you were scared?
Dead Space.
Dead Space 1. I was gonna say Dead
Well,
Space 1 was
the
fucking tense.
DLC that came out for Dead Space 3.
Really?
Yeah,
That
it was
didn't
creepy.
do it.
It was cool.
That didn't do it for me. Everyone kept saying, "Yeah, dude, they're going back to the
It,
roots."
it,
and it just-
I say it was scarier than Dead Space 3.
well,
the
yeah, it
whole
was
thing,
scarier
so.
than 3. Fucking Princess Peach DS was scarier than 3.
But I mean,
seems
come on,
like-
Dead Space 1's gonna be scary because you didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew what was gonna happen 2 and 3. So
Yeah. It seems like these-
One's opening was fucked.
These
That
survi-
game. oh.
yeah.
I know it's super off topic. The opening.
But
for
Dead Space
1.
2's opening was fucking awesome too, though. So.
What?
All right. Yes.
What you been playing?
Either way, Last of Us is yeah,
Trying to wind
we're
it. This
playing
is-
everything. Last of Us is looking really, really good, and
Really
if you guys
excited
do
for
not
this.
have it pre-ordered yet,
Yeah.
you guys should because
I'm game playing.
why not?
Game-
Or Gamefly.
Gamefly?
Gamefly, Redbox, whatever.
Got
Red
on
box.
my GameFly queue.
The demo? No, you said there's special access to. It's not like publicly wide demo, is it? Or-
Yeah, you have to
something.
have God of War
Okay.
Ascension to get to it.
Word to the wise. Mm-hmm. God of War Ascension. Check it out. Anything else? Or,
God of War, it was
God of
God of
War
War
Ascension was
God of
pretty
Ascension was,
shitty.
it was okay. It
was the God of War
it was my
nobody
least
asked for.
favorite of all of them.
It was like it felt like a weird throwaway. Like, we'd wait too long if we wait till next generation,
Yeah.
but we'd be sitting around doing nothing if we didn't make a game now. So I guess we'll just sort of shit a game out.
It was cool, but God of War 3 is hard to it's hard to follow God of War 3.
Cool. It's gonna be hard to follow this segment, guys. I mean, the segment was a little girthy. We're like 55 minutes, which we've been playing.
Holy shit!
Setting records.
All
Time
right.
flies, man.
High score. What's that mean?
That means nothing. That means I'm gonna hate myself this
I like
week.
talking about video games. I'd just fucking talk for 2 more hours about what we've been playing.
We will be
Just
continuing.
do it.
We'll keep talking about video games.
Well, being will render forever.
Segment 1, what you've been playing. Guys, catch you after this break, and we'll be back with a very fun topic this week. Decisive, interactive.
Apparently, Fat Albert's here.
Yeah, nice. Nice relevant reference. All the
Very
kids
topical.
are gonna be like, "Hey, you listen to the Introduction to Kingdom? He does a Fat Albert impression."
Man, they offered this great simulator game and Fat Albert.
I almost want
Wow.
to do a Nixon, but I'm not going to do it. All right, it's
And we'll
Let's
catch
get
you after the break. We are back. Dark Side of the Kingdom. First segment went great. Went a little long, but hey, fuck it. You guys are here. We're here. Let's talk video games. Choices, gentlemen.
choices.
We're going to be revisiting video game generations past. Start off from NES Master System era. Talk about the system that we received first for each generation. Talk about 3 of our favorite games. Worst game experience. Maybe an honorable mention. See what happens. 2 hours later. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be long.
So super quick.
I mean, I've got
That's kind of the
notes.
idea. I have some notes too. So
I like your note.
I have
It's an envelope from
envelope.
work.
5 rounds of generations. So we'll just do 1, 2, 3. We'll say which system we went first, and then do 3 games. And we'll kind of hit them kind of quickly. So
All right.
NES Master System era.
Well, before that, I had the 2600 Atari.
We're not starting there.
I
Does
totally
that
had
count?
that.
Go ahead. Actually, I think pencil ins count.
Okay, good.
Quick.
Because I had that. It was my first system we ever had. Our uncle gave it to us. I'm pretty sure it was hot. I remember
For people listening, hot means.
stolen.
There you go.
Like he gave us that and a whole ton of games, most of them without labels. So I'm sure those are not.
It was hot.
legit. I just remember playing Space Invaders like crazy, and the first time you realize you can shoot through your barrier and then use it, you're like, "Oh my god, I beat this game!"
I'm a
So, and then
genius.
we had that, and then we had ET, and I don't know if you guys have ever played
I'm
ET.
sorry.
Oh man.
But you cannot describe how awful that game is.
Is your copy in New Mexico, or did you hang on to it?
I never knew.
I don't know. I think
Please
we
tell
just
me
threw it
it's
away
buried.
because
Well, so it's in New
like,
Mexico.
our mom got to a point when we were
Yeah.
like, we didn't when we were that young, we didn't keep what we had, so our mom would be like, "Oh, I guess your kids are done with this," and go trash can.
Wow.
So okay, then after that we got an NES, and I love NES. It's one of my
So,
favorites.
it's-
The big games for me
Okay.
are gonna be Double Dragon 2: The Revenge because it's 2 players and I can play with my brothers. Punch Out, because that game is still amazing. I could play the day. I actually
Timeless. I would say.
completely timeless. There was a point where we could never, when we were kids, we couldn't beat King Hippo because you have to hit him in the belly. But we didn't know. We were kids. We were dumb. We're like,
Yeah,
how do you do this? So one day our dad beat it at like 3 in the morning. He ran upstairs to wake us all up to tell us that he won. he beat King Hippo.
Oh.
And we all woke up going, oh my God, how did you do it? How did you do it? He's like, I had to punch him in the belly. Now go to bed. I'm like, how can we go to bed? You just woke us up. And that was like one of those moments in my life. I'm like,
Man.
and it has a connection with my dad that I'll never forget. Because my dad doesn't play video games or even talk about video games anymore. But like that's just one of the things I'll never forget. And then another thing that he did would involve video games was he saw like the trailer for Van Helsing and he's like, "Is that Castlevania?" I'm like, "How the hell do you remember what Castlevania is?" And I'm like, "I wish, but it wasn't." Okay, so
That'd have been a horrible Castlevania movie.
I know. Well, that was a terrible movie.
Oh, yeah.
I almost got beat up in a movie theater at that movie. I made an abortion joke. Apparently, people don't think abortion is funny. Okay, so
Crazy.
Don't worry, we here at Dark Side of the Kingdom love abortion jokes.
It was a different
Keep
time
going.
back then. It was a very
Apparently.
different time.
okay, so Punch Out, Double
Dragon.
Dragon, The Revenge, and Mario Brothers 3 were my games to live by.
Okay. I think that's very important too. It's games that define the system for you. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I was in the same situation. I got an NES from my parents bought it just kind of like as a family thing. Then we ended up getting a TurboGrafx given to us from an uncle. So I did have a TurboGrafx and an NES around the same time as each other. No one I know has ever seen or owned a TurboGrafx. It's one of those weird things where I didn't know that was weird until I grew up and everyone's like, "What?
I want to
is
say
a TurboGrafx?"
Bonk was
I was
kind of
gonna
like
say
the
Bonk
marquee.
is the
Bonk.
game.
Yeah.
A lot of
Remember
people. There's
Bonk?
that Nickelodeon show where you play games to get through things, and people.
Nick Arcade.
That's the only reason anyone knew what a TurboGrafx was.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, for me, actually, I share Mario 3. It's the best Mario game ever made. I started with Mario 1, but 3 was that game that I could play that forever. I could play it today and to death.
Yeah.
Guardian Legend. It was kind of like a Zelda meets Gauntlet, less puzzles and more combat. And I don't know if I've. Oh no, that's gone. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Don't skip generations.
I'm thinking of a game on the TurboGrafx called Dungeon Explorer. Just forget that. Guardian Legend was a top-down shmup, like a R-type tile type game. You shoot the enemies, you get the weapon, but then at the end of each level, your ship morphs into like a girl, and you land on a planet. And then, it's a Zelda game.
I like weird.
And then you wander through the planet until you find the
Like Blaster Master.
Sorta. And then, but it's like top down, like exactly like Zelda. And then you wander around the map until you find the boss. You kill him, then you warp back into the plane, and then it's a shmup level. You fight the boss, and you're back on the planet, back and forth. It was such a unique idea that I remember as a kid, even it left an impression on me, and I thought that was really, really cool. And then Gargoyle's Quest 2, which was the gargoyle from
The cartoon?
No,
Gargoyles cartoons?
the from Ghosts and Goblins, the little goblin that the gargoyle
Firebrand?
dives.
Firebrand, yeah.
Firebrand, yeah.
He got his own game on the Game Boy
Spin-off.
called Gargoyle's Quest, and it
Yeah.
was really good. The
Super
NES
Nintendo
got
one's
the
really good,
sequel, and it was called Gargoyle's Quest 2. It was fucking amazing. It was just an amazing game, and I didn't know any of that lineage when I got it. When I was a kid, you just get games given to you, and so but those three, Mario 3 was so important, such an important game to me when I was growing up. Like, it's weird thinking back, like how often I just go, oh, I'm gonna play Mario 3, and I just fucking play through the whole game, and I go, okay, now I'm gonna go do schoolwork or whatever, or play Legos, and I go, I'm gonna play Mario 3 again. I can't even think about games like that anymore. It's weird that there was a game that was so just like, yeah, let's play it over and over, and you can't save, you just, there it is.
They need to put that on the 3DS shop.
Oh,
It's not?
No,
No.
it's only
Oh,
Super Mario
shit.
Brothers and Lost Levels is on.
Criminal. They should be on there, right?
But yeah, those would be my 3 for the NES.
I like it.
I totally forgot one too. Sorry, Bubble Bobble.
We do
Bubble
get
Bobble's
honorable-
amazing.
I will say we get honorable mention at the end, so
Okay, sorry.
you can pencil that in. Yeah. But that is actually a great co-op game. Good girlfriend game.
Oh my god,
Bubble
you
Bobble.
will get laid playing Bubble Bobble if you play with your girlfriend.
Indeed.
It's
Few games.
I couldn't even tell you the amount of times. It's ridiculous.
Whoa, secret. Now, ladies, if you're with me playing Bubble Bobble, there
You know
are
where he's going.
there are expectations at the end of the night. So
So don't worry, Dean. There aren't any ladies listening.
don't ruin my hopes, man. I can dream.
There might be one.
Dream the impossible dream.
It's just me in a wig. I was like, oh, Dean, you're so cute.
Let's play Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
Let's go see a movie.
You're like, quit calling me, Mike.
Mike, I know it's you, man.
Okay, Percy.
Well, it's off the cuff. I'd say Ninja Gaiden was one of my top 3. just remember playing it over and over again and getting fucked over and over and over. Not by girls, but by the game itself.
Yeah, so you
Game's
played
so brutal.
Puzzle Bubble?
It wasn't a bubble scene. It was Ninja Gaiden killing me over and over. Well, the enemies just fucking me over hardcore.
I mean, the Hawks. Those fuck you over hard.
Goddamn.
It wasn't the Hawks. It wasn't necessarily the Hawks. The Hawks were fine. It was probably like, even like the little tiny characters, like that old lady throwing the crosses.
Crosses? Oh, she's the worst.
Fuck that. Like, Jesus Christ. She was
Those
like
games
the
are
worst.
so fucking just brutal.
Brutal.
All brutal. Oh my god. I bought it from the 3DS, or bought it for my 3DS a couple months ago. And holy shit, it is still fucking hard.
Oh, yeah, I have
but
it
the cool
too.
thing about this, I mean, back then you still had unlimited continues, but now you can save it at a certain spot
Yeah.
and start from right there. So like, it's making this so much easier. But still, I feel like an asshole doing it. But Ninja Gaiden's definitely up there. Brutal ass game. If you guys hate yourselves, play this game because it'll make you hate yourself even more.
Sweet.
Yes.
I'm into that actually.
Yes. I agree with you guys on Mario Brothers 3. Holy shit, that game. That's like something for everybody. That's a connection that, a game that everyone has a connection with, no matter what. I mean,
It does seem pretty universal.
yeah. I mean, it's just,
There's nothing worse than going to a toad house and then unlocking a freaking mushroom. You're
Getting a
like,
goddamn mushroom.
It's actually almost, I don't know.
I hate the frogs.
Especially when it's the house where you can get the Hammer Brothers
I
suit.
just
and you're
want
like,
the Tanuki suit.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Fuck
Do you guys
that.
not get the
Hammers.
flutes when you play? I play it so many times that I just kind of
I get-
subconsciously have to get the fuck out
Yeah.
of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we always get the flute.
I've never played World 3 or 4.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure
probably
I'm
Played
sure
3,
I
you've
have,
never played 4.
but I don't remember
Four's
ever
the one you
playing
can
them.
skip. Yeah.
Yep.
Cause, yeah, that one's blank. It took me a while.
That was
I
a
like-
really tough level, too.
Yeah.
'Cause
Same
it's
as
scrolling
7.
up.
I've almost never played 7. That's the Tube Vine World.
Yeah,
right?
that level
I
sucks.
almost
'Cause, I mean,
never
I played it.
played
It's pretty tough.
You try to play it, you play the first level, it's like, fuck, just do hard.
Yeah,
just skip.
flute. I'm gonna flute it.
Come on. I got through it. I mean, it is tough.
I'm sure I have
but-
at some point in time, but it's so rarely compared to the flutes.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like I said, we've all had a cool connection with the game. Like I'm sure we all remember beating Bowser and just feeling like the coolest kid in the
How
world.
did you do it the first time? Because there's the two ways to
Is
do
that
it.
the one
On
where
the
he
spot.
falls through the ground?
Yeah, it
Well,
breaks.
you can either fight him or you can make him jump through the ground.
I made him jump through the ground.
Jump through the ground and I thought that way you could do it.
Resourceful.
Wouldn't you find him like if he had like firepower or something?
Yeah. If you have a
Let's go fire
you can
fireball.
fight him. Or you can just walk in the door. Can you just like walk in the door and ignore him completely?
No,
No.
I think because he'll jump at you. Yeah,
Jump
there's
at
no. Yeah, you're like blocked off in the. It'll be awesome. Well, I mean, you had to figure it out. Well, obviously, for a little kid, you had to figure out what the fuck you're trying to
The
do.
ground's going away. What do I do? I don't have a fairy to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, so
Those
yeah,
two, right?
we got Ninja Gaiden from Mario 3.
And
holy-
Gremlins.
And Gremlins. That game is so good.
Goonies 2. Which is actually a good game. I don't know why I use that as an example.
I can't even fucking think
That
of
game
something off the
fucking
top of my head at the moment.
Drove me crazy, Goonies too.
Super Mario Bros. 2 was good.
Maybe you should have written stuff down on a
I
folded up
I
envelope.
should have got myself an envelope to write shit
Blades
down.
of Steel, the best hockey game ever made.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
All right, you're probably right. I don't know. I don't
You
know.
might-
Hockey
Mutant
games.
League hockey.
NHL
Blades is still
95,
better.
Sega Genesis. I think you said 95.
Those are great, but I would play Blade above any other game.
All right, I'm
Hockey.
going to throw one out. 1943, like that series.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Capcom shooter.
Yes.
Good stuff.
We were talking
Good
about that
choice.
before the show for some reason.
That was always fun. I just love playing those types of games in the arcades. Were so much fun. Like almost bullet hell style. Chaos.
Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Capcom. Golden Era, I would say NES Capcom games were fucking top notch, man.
I'm surprised no one's a Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man 2. Mega
I
Man
love
2
Mega
is
Man 2.
Oh,
too.
we-
So
No.
good.
Yeah, we all love Mega Man.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
These aren't the three best
Hardcore.
games ever made. These are the three games that mean the NES to us. So
All right.
Oh yeah, honorable mention.
it's all applicable. It's all applicable. we each get a right into.
Awesome.
So yeah, cool. I guess it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I had a legitimate hard time choosing between 3 and 2, but for me, what it meant to me, Super Mario Brothers 2, just for me, really, I played it over and over again, and just how unique it was. It was kind of like this weird thing to where it was just not like any of the other Mario games. Later, you find out that it was actually Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a totally different game. So at the time, it was unique. The option to play as 4 different players was pretty cool, and just for its game, as a Mario title, kind of like overlooked in some regards, but is also very fun to go back to.
It was always the cool one.
Yeah,
Like,
it was kinda,
you can float and jump and there's powers.
You weren't
and
fighting
it's weird.
Koopa at the end.
Also, it defined who Luigi ended up
Yep.
being.
Yeah.
Without that game, we wouldn't have the way
Shy
Luigi
Guys
looked.
too. I think Shy Guys
Shy
were
Guys came
introduced.
from that
So
game?
there's some
Sniffits.
There's some canon. Yeah.
Birdo.
Birdo. Transcending. Was Birdo a tranny back then, or was that recently?
Back then.
Back then it was.
There you go.
Actually, it was in the
Was it?
little manual, instruction
It's in the
manual.
manual.
Yeah. So
What am I doing?
a lot of fun little secrets. Kind of jumped on the eggs. Secret paths. It was a fun game. I liked it a lot.
That was awesome. It was like the hipster.
Hipster choice.
Yeah.
Hipster Mario Brothers. Hey, I'm
the
trying.
Mario series.
I have to redeem myself after the airport simulator.
Please.
Number 2. Actually, these aren't in any particular order, but for me, Ninja Turtles, the arcade game for NES.
Oh,
yes.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
There we
That's
go.
so good.
There we go. Some
Yeah.
appreciation
Awesome.
from
Of
Peanut
course.
Gallery. Multiplayer game.
Oh my god, yes.
Awesome game. My first, before I even had the NES, I remember going over to my aunt's house, and one of my first memories of this game was just going over and going into I had 2 younger cousins. They're both older than me. Actually, one was older, one was younger. So, long story short, I go to my aunt's house. They're not home, and on the TV is this game, Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, paused on the NES 2-player mode. So, from afar, I had to sit back. I unpaused it for a second. I played it. I got hit, and I didn't finish it. So I kind of got a taste of it, lusted after it for a few months. Finally got it. Just fucking fun, good game.
Game's so perfect.
Right now, I didn't actually have I didn't get too much hands-on with the arcade until after the fact. So, 'cause
Well, that's
it
the weird
didn't
thing.
mean- yeah.
Ninja Turtle games, as those were, the formula was almost identical until they just stopped making that exact like they nailed it with the very, very first Ninja Turtles game. They were all basically that same game over and over, just a little bit longer and a little bit better, and it looked a little bit nicer.
And just so much
What
fun.
about the first Ninja Turtles?
Well,
game?
not the Leonardo can only attack backwards one and ride around in a turtle
Raphael's
van.
useless. Michelangelo. Now, in this game, just curious, did you guys have a favorite in this game? Just
Donatello.
Donatello?
When I was a kid, my favorite was Donatello.
Leo. I was kind of a Leo guy.
I've never met another Donatello. I'm really proud of you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a high five in real
It
time.
was the worst high five. It was a little bit. It was mostly me.
That's why you didn't hear it.
I was like, I wonder how far away he is. Oh, he's way further than I thought.
It seemed like
Person.
just sweaty palms just touching each other
Yeah.
lightly.
It was like an awkward press together, more of like a
Okay,
handshake.
back to Turtles.
Yeah, Turtles.
Yeah,
You
Donatello.
Great
guys,
game.
you guys didn't hear it, but they were skipping as they're about to do high fives. All right. Anyway, I'd probably go with Donatello, I guess.
Donatello.
Whoa, a room full of Donatello.
Well, I'm not. Well, on the game, but
Yeah.
Raphael's my favorite.
Oh, because he's cool but rude.
No, it's because he's a dick.
No, have you guys read the comics, the original comics? Mm-hmm. Okay, when I was a kid, I loved Donatello. When I read the comics when I got older, Raphael all the way. Raphael is and you could tell he was like, the creators like love character, like they love him the most.
He was the one they actually liked.
I will say,
Yeah, he's so good.
in the live-action
badass,
movie, he
yeah.
was definitely the most interesting.
Oh,
We had
yes.
the inner conflict.
And he
Yeah.
says "damn" in a kids movie, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, he said damn!"
When you first heard it, they're like, oh my god.
And they say it like 4 times in that movie.
That's like the only word they say.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know how. I might edit this out. Is Raphael? I've heard this similar circles. The Black Ninja Turtle. Anybody ever heard that before?
I always thought
No.
Donatello was the Black Ninja Turtle.
No.
Really? I don't know.
They're green. They're clearly green.
I think they're the green Ninja Turtles.
Well, okay.
I think
This might
we're
be
gonna say
edited.
this one's like, yeah. I
I'm
think you
just
should edit that out.
We should say Dean. God.
Dean.
Who's the white one?
No, that's fine. No,
There was
they-
a time though in the they used to have
Michelangelo.
No,
novels. They
I've
had
had-
novelization of Ninja Turtles where Raph was all black. He wore all black.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a mask on anymore. He literally was all black. I don't know why they did that, but I remember they did.
I remember that.
That's
and
what
I
I
was
was-
confused
Yeah, I was
by it
so-
too. As a little kid, I was like, no, but I've seen the cartoon. Who's this guy?
And for the record, that's what I was referring to. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go with that.
third choice. Are we done with Ninja Turtles? That was a good game.
Yeah, that's great.
Third choice, Capcom Golden Era, one of my favorite games. Not very talked about a lot. Legendary Wings.
Oh, nice.
Did you ever play this game?
I've seen it. Haven't played it.
It's an arcade game. It was an arcade game first, and the NES version was different enough, totally different from
It was super dialed back. Yeah.
dialed back. The side, there's like a horizontal platforming level or shooter levels, completely different. But long story short, 1942 style shooter, vertical shooter. Just totally just played this game so many times to where I could actually play the first level to a certain point, not get hit almost. You get like 5 power-ups in a row. You get like a special power-up suit. Lots of secrets, lots of things. One of my first NES games. Legendary Wings.
Which was the black legendary wing?
That would be Jesus Christ.
the first wave that got shot down by the air guns.
Oh,
Legendary
Hey, that
Wings.
was war, man. I wasn't a general in that war. I didn't make those decisions.
Those were our top 3 defining titles.
I want to change mine now. I just thought of it like immediately. I want to take 1943 out and put in Contra. Sorry.
Contra 1 or Contra 2? Super C.
I love them both. I'll probably go Super C though.
Super C is better.
Super C is fucking awesome. I'm gonna exchange it out.
Okay.
So,
Also,
Super C.
I think this is
Sorry.
the part in video game history that had the best cover art than ever and will never have as good as this point.
Yeah, because no one gave a shit. They
I
didn't
know.
care what
Yeah.
your game was about. They're like, hey, can you make art? This is what our game's called. And they're like, all right. That's all they knew was the name
And
of
it
the
was
game.
gonna
And
be
then-
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like the Contra covers are so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even, we talked about a little bit, the Mega Man cover was pretty
Pretty
ironic
great,
and
even
funny.
though they're iconic and crazy, but they're
toy.
still great.
Yeah,
Awful.
they don't know what it
It
is.
looked horrible.
Worst
He has
memory?
a gun.
Worst memory of the NES? Worst game?
Shadowgate.
Your one thing? Shadowgate.
I was too young to understand Shadowgate. Shadowgate was an adventure game with the whole push, grab, move, and then you have to say what you're push, grabbing,
Yeah.
moving, like tearing, attacking. Like I didn't get it. I'd open the original door and I'd go, okay, I'm in a room. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then eventually I'd trigger trap, and then the Grim Reaper would show up and be like, and then I'd start up and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I'm 5. Why am I? What is this
Overcomplicated.
game?
Yeah.
I remember I went back to it as an adult and went through it and actually enjoyed it. But as a kid, an NES adventure game was not what I was looking for at all.
Yeah.
Like at all.
It took me a while to really appreciate the adventure game, the RPG, until I got teens, even,
Yeah.
you know?
Me too. I didn't get into the RPGs till late in the game.
Me 3.
Anybody else have a bad game?
Yeah.
Ruined your childhood?
Yeah. Well, I felt like a fucking asshole. The NES was like the time when we were all growing up, and I'm not sure.
Are you giving us the talk?
Yes, I am. The talk. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
No, when we were growing up, I mean, like, your parents probably didn't make a shitload of money, so not everyone's buying you games.
Yeah, they were expensive then.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
really expensive.
So this was the time of renting, and I have a
You
lot-
look down on renting so hard.
Hey,
Believe me,
listen
dude,
to this.
believe me.
When
I
he's,
look good.
he's like prefacing it like, no, I didn't rent on
Yeah.
purpose. It wasn't
This
like
was
I was
time.
renting for a friend.
when we were kids, dude, renting was like your weekend.
That-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
all
you know
I
what?
did.
God, whatever you rented didn't suck because you were stuck with
Yeah.
it for 3 days.
Exactly. So, like you, Ian, I had brothers and everything. So we all every now and then you one brother get to choose. You know, this weekend you get to choose this game. So one weekend we went to the store and I I did not know why, but I chose Where's Waldo.
Oh, man, it's awful.
Game fucking sucks.
Yeah. I was actually referring to video
Have you
games.
played it?
This is
Mike, have you played it?
Oh
Oh my god, is that game awful.
I
So.
It'd be hard to imagine, especially on the NES renderings. Of,
Yeah. Think about what that what that system can do graphically.
So, it's basically Where's Waldo the book NES form. It's just, it's,
It's so bad.
But imagine if the page from Where's Waldo was on a Post-it.
yeah.
Does
It's
it
like-
scroll at least? There's no
you
scrolling.
you're like
there's
a little cursor and you try and find Waldo.
So ugly.
It is so
Yeah.
stupid, and
Yeah.
it ruined the weekend. And my brothers hated me all weekend.
It ruined the
and
weekend?
It ruined. We
ruined the weekend.
It did. I ruined
Wow.
the fucking weekend. Like we put it in, and we all sat around and played it for like 2 minutes.
That
turned it
sucks.
off and said, "Fuck this."
That fucking
We went out-
sucks.
And we went
But
outside.
we're gonna go
started-
outside and play.
Yeah, it was the worst weekend ever, and that game ruined my life. No, it didn't, but it ruined the weekend pretty badly.
gross.
And my brothers will not let me live that down. So, God damn it, fuck you, Waldo.
You would be interested to hear that Where's Waldo for the Mac? Apple. Pretty fucking good.
Oh, really?
Animated backgrounds, HD graphics,
Oh my god.
$2.99.
Thank-
Ian,
Thanks, Steve.
come on, brother.
I was at a Goodwill and found
on,
a
man.
Where's Waldo book, and thankfully the guy who dropped it off circled all the Waldos.
Yeah, God
Do you
damn.
guys remember the Where's Waldo book when on the beach where
Yep,
you
the
saw
chick-
the chick's
the titty-
tits?
What?
What?
Yep.
There was one.
Yeah,
It was a
remember
really. I'm sure they eventually edited it, but
I
there's a
think they
kid shoving an ice cream cone in a woman's back, and she's like, "What chicks do when they lay with their swimsuit top on but not strapped,
Was that what
and
she
she's
did
like
there?
going,
She's on.
and like it's just boobs with like black dots on them. But like I remember being like, oh my god, I'm gonna look for that again. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you're
No,
a little
I
kid.
don't remember that, but I
Yeah,
had all
that
3
ruled.
books.
Similar.
If you still have them, you got.
It's the big yellow
a-
beach one.
Yep, it's
Simple
the big old
times.
beach.
Wow.
It's in like the bottom right corner.
Okay, in terms of games that I ruined my life for NES, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head other than Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because I could never beat the judge.
That game was fucking
To this day, I could
hard.
never beat the judge.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a memory of that game. Was it like in?
I never played it.
It is a driving over top,
Okay,
and then when
okay.
you're at a building, it's side-scrolling, and it's just weird. And you could call Jessica Rabbit, like she gave you a number, and you were really supposed to call it in real life. And it was supposed to be like a hotline of like to give you a clue where to go next. But then someone bought it and it was a sex line. Which is kind of hilarious.
Yep.
But I don't know what it is now. But yeah, that's the only game I can think of NES wise. It pissed me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I heard the driving was like the worst thing ever.
It's really squirrely. Like
Would you be?
it's kind of like off road, but
Okay.
not good.
Okay, I'm like off-road.
Well, for
Like, you know
wait,
the view in off road.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like driving like a city like
I
that.
love off-road.
good games.
But this arcade, it was amazing. Super off road. Fuck
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Okay. My turn for the NES game I got stuck with early on. Fester's Quest.
Oh
Ever play this?
fuck yeah! I hate that
Oh,
game.
but that
man.
game's
Fuck
really
that game.
good.
Not if you get the bad gun.
Ironically,
You were
the best-
boned.
It's hard, but it's
It's
a good
So
game.
long.
It was just, I think it was buggy. It was really buggy, and like it was one of those games where like you could clear a level, you can accidentally go to like the next panel, and then
Oh, yeah, you
could
can
go
screw
back,
yourself,
and then
yeah.
everything's there again.
Yep.
So it's just like very frustrating. It was one of my first games that I had that I kind of forced myself to play over and over again.
I mean, yeah, when you're young, you don't understand that
Yeah.
shit.
I had that as a kid. Did you guys have that as a kid?
Yeah.
Did everybody have
Everyone
that?
has
Fester's Quest?
Well, that's
Why
one of
did
those
we all get
games.
suckered into that? Jeez.
I don't know.
To be completely honest, I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
I
Neither
just
do
had
I.
it. Like,
We
I
had
just
it.
Well, it's because there was I mean, that's around the same time they did the first Addams Family movie, and there was a cartoon
Was
and
our-
stuff. So there's
I
like
remember the cartoon.
a weird resurgence of
Yeah.
Addams Family.
I remember. I guess all our
Raul
parents were
Julia.
just like, he really liked that movie. We should get him the game. I don't want this.
it's like Fester, like the least cool character.
yeah,
out of
the
whole
worst
fucking-
character. It's like, yeah, let's make a game about that
Well,
dickhead.
later they made a Pugsley game for Super Nintendo, if you
Ugh.
remember,
Ugh.
from the cartoon.
Like,
There we go.
Just avoid Adam's Family.
Super Nintendo, let's do this,
Hey,
boys.
segue. I like it. Super
Okay.
Nintendo,
This was
Genesis
so fucking
era.
difficult.
Okay.
It
What
was
did we
like
pick?
it felt like a cruel joke when I was putting this list together. I ended up just choosing 3 RPGs I really liked because there was no. I mean, like it was the easiest thing to do.
Final Fantasy 3 or 6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
Is that
I know it is. Of course
It's
it
great.
is. It's amazing.
Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get to those later, but so that's not on my list.
And then Lufia 2, which I talked about a lot last time I was on, and then Super Mario RPG. They were all really, really good RPGs, and like there's so I was looking through games and I was trying to narrow down my list, and it was impossible. And I was looking at I was like maybe my memory I'm not thinking of something. So I looked at some top game lists online and stuff, and it's like you'd see like top 100 SNES games, and every goddamn game was like oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and I was like well fuck. Fuck me. I'll just choose 3 RPGs that were really important to me.
So you
Because
were-
RPGs ended up being a genre that stuck with me, so I was
Yeah.
like, Super Nintendo's kind of where that happened for me. So I'll just choose the
Sweet.
3
Very
that, well, 3 of the ones I like.
Any 3 of those? Anyone top the other ones off? Is there a tier there, or is it just 3?
It's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Dude, the Super Nintendo's a goddamn mess with how good it is.
It's a beast.
It is.
It's
still
almost-
it's clearly the best system
I
ever
would say,
made.
you know,
It is.
definitely,
Agreed.
PlayStation's up there too. But I guess the timeless 2D graphics kind of speak for themselves. Virtually every game is kind of ageless. You can go back and enjoy.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo's so good.
Okay, cool.
So goddamn good.
Anybody else want to jump in?
For Super Nintendo, top 3 are Lost Vikings. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yes.
I had a brother, so that's a
Hell
2-player
yeah.
co-op
Perfect.
game, and
So
it's
good.
amazing.
It is.
Nice.
And it's an interplay game,
Yep.
or Blizzard did it too. Blizzard made it.
Yep.
Olaf the Stout, total badass.
They made it at the same time as that shitty Superman fighting game, and that I guess which one I
Superman
chose.
fighting game.
Yeah.
Blizzard did a Superman fighting game back in the day on the Super Nintendo. And it
I had
was-
Superman Returns.
I don't know.
Death and Return of Superman, the side
Yeah.
scroller. Oh, that game's awful. I had that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was saying fighting game. I meant like
Yeah, it's a
fighting.
beat 'em up.
Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, the age of
Fast
golden
scrolling beat 'em
games, also the age of shitty license games.
Oh my god, yes.
Like the worst shitty license
Oh.
games. Super Nintendo.
Okay.
But
Oh,
anyways.
no, whoa.
Well,
Capcom's.
Well, okay.
Okay,
games,
Disney doesn't
Well,
count. Disney
yeah.
game was at the high.
But they were all
high
based
point.
on the movies.
Yeah, the high point ones were good.
okay, so
Like Aladdin and
That's
Lion King.
Lion
Great.
King.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the important games.
Yes.
So Lost Vikings definitely, and then I'm big fan of co-op games, so I'm gonna probably go with Final Fight 3,
Nice.
which is the latest one. Like it was very late in the Super Nintendo life, so the graphics were incredible. You could do really cool combos. You could do your regular combo into a special, which was really interesting. Like, sadly Cody wasn't in it, which sucked because
Cody's the best.
He's one of my favorite. Guy's always been my favorite.
That guy was.
But Cody's like my second favorite.
Cody's my
but
boy.
I love that one. And then probably my third Super Nintendo game. Oh, this is tough.
Not easy.
It was a nightmare. I spent like an hour and a half and then I just threw up my hands and I wrote down 3 RPGs.
You gotta pick 3. You gotta.
I'm trying to think of the ones I had the most fun with.
Because I mean, like, what do? Do you go for fun? You go for impactful? There's lots of different ways you could take this.
That's why it was so hard. Because they're deciding on the way you want to approach it. There's 3.
I'm gonna
different
go
games.
with if you had the boomerang adapter Bomberman, because you can play 4-player, and that was insane.
Well, Bomberman in general, like I almost put that on my N64 list because it's just one of those games you could play for fucking.
Oh my god, the game is so. It's a great game next to people to yell at the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
So I'm
A group of dudes playing Bomberman is surprising.
I'm gonna go with Bomberman.
It's interesting. I haven't really visualized that.
Oh yeah, it's great.
My only time.
Bomberman in Lost Vikings and Final Fight 3, and a slight shout out to Rock and Roll Racing, also Interplay.
Fuck
Ooh,
yeah.
nice.
That's awesome.
All these
I love
old
that
Blizzard
game.
games.
Rock and Roll Racing is so good.
It's still amazing.
It is. Soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
Power ups in that game is like can you like shoot people,
Yeah,
Mario
yeah.
Kart style
Oil
stuff.
slick.
Oil slicks.
There's one of the few fixed angle
Yeah.
racing games that I actually like. That and Micro Machines I thought were both good.
Cool. Cool.
Me?
Me,
Should I go
you?
next?
Yeah.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay. One of my favorite games would probably be Mega Man X.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
I can't believe I didn't say that. I'm gonna take Mega Man X in my list.
At one point in time I had Mega Man X2.
I actually
on one
just
of my
replayed
lists.
that game on my Wii.
Nice.
Wow.
It's so good. Mega Man X. Yes, it's definitely one of my favorite games ever. I can still go back and play it all the way through and just. I have so many good memories with that, especially playing with my brothers. I know it's not a co-op game, but just sitting, everyone watching.
You sit there and watch together.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
you could do it, cheering each other on, trying to get through certain levels, and that combined with Primus's Brown album is always. I don't know why this is that together.
That's weird.
I know.
No, I
That's
totally
such a weird
understand
thing.
that.
But
now when you listen to Primus, right away it takes you right
I
back.
just think of Mega Man going,
Yeah.
oh yes, trying to beat Armored Armadillo stage, fucking awesome. So
Spark Mandrill.
Spark Mandrill, that.
I remember as a
is
kid I was
good.
like, what the fucking animal is he?
Mandrill's a monkey.
Yeah, but as a kid I was like,
yeah,
wow, I
yeah.
don't know what a fucking mandrill is.
Yeah.
He looks like a bison.
He does look kind of weird though. But yeah, Mega Man X, definitely top there. And then I'd also go side-scrolling beat 'em ups, Turtles in Time.
Oh yeah.
So again, with more co-op stuff again with the brothers and everything. So
As a kid, I had Hyperstone Heist.
yeah.
The Genesis one's
It's
good.
the exact same game, except Turtles in Time is just longer. You never actually travel through time. You do all the levels leading up
Yes.
to it are almost identical.
Oh shit.
Then you start traveling through time in the Super Nintendo version. They came out around the same time, and so as a kid, I got my Ninja Turtles game on the Genesis.
Yep,
and
that's what it
my
was.
friends just play, and they go, "Yeah, the pirate ship level." I'm like, "Oh yeah, the pirate ship level."
Yeah.
That's the one where Raphael's black, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think he's in all of them though. Right?
Yeah,
He has attitude.
He has
He's
cool but rude.
the panache. See,
What do you
right?
mean by that?
Dude, how do you not?
This is coming from somewhere. This isn't completely unbased.
Have you
This
never
is-
heard the theme
this is
song
going-
to the Ninja Turtles cartoon?
What do they mean by that? All right.
Raphael's
Okay. All right. Let's go.
And
Last one.
Michelangelo's a party dude.
That's true. All right.
I'm not describing them. I'm singing the song.
I know. Just,
Okay.
I know. I know. It's
Okay.
fucking-
How did you make that up? That's so.
I know I'm good
Very
off the dome.
poetic. Okay, my last game would probably be, I'm not sure which one, but it'd probably be Super Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 2. Sorry.
Ooh, that's a really good one. That's when I got into Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo as well.
Oh yeah, that has since then I've always been into fighting games, so that brought me into the whole fighting game scene, and I still continue today. It's awesome.
I have a dad story like his for Street Fighter.
Me too.
I didn't know how to throw Hadokens.
Oh.
And so my dad played as E Honda, and he'd just do the 100 hand slap, which was really hard to counter as a little kid. And so I learned how to throw a fireball, and that was like a game changer because he couldn't just sit and 100 hand slap me into a corner, and I was like, oh my god, this fucking just opened up a whole world of possibilities.
That's awesome. Good shots. I remember. All right, this will be a little off topic, but it has new Street Fighter. When I was a kid, my dad used to drink a lot, and one of the times he came stumbling back home, and we were all playing Street Fighter, and this is one of the only times he wanted to play video games with us when he's super drunk.
Okay.
So he stumbled into the living room and was like, "Hey, what are you guys playing?" And we're just like, "We're playing Street Fighter, Dad." He's like, "Oh, I want to play." So we give him a controller, and we just started beating the shit out of him so hard. But he was having so much fun, just laughing.
He was having a good time.
Oh my god, it was so much fun. I mean, we played till like 3 in the morning until he passed out. But it was good times. It's definitely a good time. So,
Who do you play as?
Then or now?
Then.
Still playing?
Or now as well. Yeah, give me both.
All right. Then I was probably playing Ken a lot. Now I play Blanca. Blanca's my main.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Rock and roll. How about you?
It seems like I'm probably the only one, but I actually went Genesis first. I had Genesis.
I thought we were
before
going to talk about both.
Are we talking about both?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do that too.
Yeah. Super Nintendo first.
Okay. Okay. I did not make a list for Super Nintendo.
Well, whatever.
I thought we were
Just,
gonna...
no, it's all good.
I will lead the Genesis round because this is getting a little lengthy too. It's going to be the first 4-hour show.
Yeah.
I went Genesis first. Absolutely love the Super Nintendo, but my 3 marquee Genesis games came with the system when I bought it. Streets of Rage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Big fans of side-scrolling platformers.
Yeah.
I had that game
Beat 'em ups.
exclusively.
Punch in the stomach.
I love Blaze. Blaze is my chick. I chick on chick action.
Max all the way.
Max.
All the way.
Axel, and then
Skate.
Skates.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was knowing about Skates. That was
Right.
my boy.
And then like the 3 had a kangaroo, but let's talk about 2.
I like 3 too.
Through Streets of Rage games. Like I said, I had that exclusively for the Sega, so that was like my game for the first 3 or 4 months of owning it. And fuck, I just replayed it over and over again. Music, awesome. Controls very tight, and just fun 2-player side scroller brawler. Awesome level design, fun characters to fight, great level progression. Wannabe Vegas, a lot of character infringement on some things. There was some interesting.
It was the Wild West back then.
There was even like a Blanca type character in the
Yeah,
swamps.
totally.
Yeah, so.
And Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Ultimate Wired base. So, simpler times as far as IP goes, intellectual property. My number 2 game, Fighter Mortal Kombat. Very decisive.
The only version to play, man. It
The
was on
only version to
Genesis.
play, I was kind of
really never. Even as a kid, I knew that they looked stupid and were like clumsy and ugly.
It still looks better than Pit Fighter, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
War of the Gods.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The first one specifically had that kind of like that first cool digitized look, kind of
The whole picture.
the picture of people
doing
fighting, going back, a little harder to play, mechanically speaking, but like Genesis version exclusive with the blood, you can do the blood code. Looked a little bit better than the Super Nintendo version too. I want
All
to say.
the fighting games ran better just because they had a better frame rate.
Yeah, and then that was the game where not having the extra buttons didn't really hurt it that much. Eventually, I got the six button Pro Genesis controller. So, for me, young, I think it was in 2nd or 3rd grade, just fucking playing that game a lot with the blood code. And then third choice, probably not too hard to imagine. I think we all can agree. NBA Jam.
Ooh.
When basketball was still good. Basketball
The
games
Bill
were-
Clinton code. That's all
Bill
I
Clinton
remember.
code.
And you can play as all the guys from Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Which you can still do in the latest one. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just simple, 2-on-2 basketball, very fun, arcadey, 3 points, dunks, good teams, fun stuff.
Could,
Fiends on fire.
Yeah.
Teams on fire.
It caused a lot of arguments if you knew how to
Shove?
shove correctly.
Yes.
You could game
Very
that
decisive.
game pretty hard.
Oh
Yeah, some teams were better than others. You definitely want to get big and get a shooter and you're good to go. NBA Jam, honorable mention, NHL 95, but that was a fun game.
Still a great game.
Great game.
Hartford Whalers.
Super simple, simplistic play. Just basically great season mode too. I'll go in and be the Mighty Ducks, do like a custom creator, and do like a whole season. Customized roster. Good times.
Oh yeah.
I pass it on.
Okay, Genesis. Here I'm gonna go first, and then you guys. Okay, for Genesis, because we need to go faster. 'cause we have a lot to do.
Shoot
Yeah.
through.
Okay, Genesis. Toe Jam Roll 1. Streets of Rage 2.
Awesome.
General Chaos.
Ooh.
See, when I originally framed this, it was supposed to be about your firsts, the
I didn't have it
origin,
first.
so-
That's why I did Super Nintendo first.
So Super Nintendo. So why are you talking about Genesis?
Because we should talk about Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis.
I won't. You skip me.
Gunstar Heroes,
Fuck yeah.
I didn't play it till later, but
Yeah,
yeah,
me too. I didn't play it.
fantastic.
Rocket Knight Adventure,
Oh yes, Sparkster.
and then Herzog's Way. That's probably my obscure game. You
Never-
guys,
Sounds
you guys play
German.
Advance Wars?
Yes.
Thank Herzog's Way because it was doing what a better version of the Advance Wars games way earlier, and then they all kind of picked up on it. It was really, really good. Also, an honorable mention, really quick, for the Super Nintendo, since we didn't get to it, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. I think that's a really, really
I love the pixel art in that game.
good. It's a genuinely good fighting game. The sprites are really nice. There are a lot of rip-off fighting games on the Super Nintendo, and they almost all sucked.
Yes.
Like Primal Rage and shit. But like Tournament Fighters was genuinely good. So
It was
there you
good.
go.
It was fun.
Those are my 3 Genesis games.
You just give me a Genesis. I mean, a game I did like though was Splatterhouse.
The first
So-
one.
Yes, it was awesome. But that's all I'll say for a second.
Okay. Genesis done. Handhelds, Game Boy, Game Gear.
For game, I mean, I think I mentioned this last time I was on. Pokemon is like the be all end all for me for handhelds. I mean, you could own a Game Boy and only own Pokemon, and it would be worth it for you. It's kind of hard for me not to say that Pokemon was like a giant deal. Like on my list, I have Pokemon, and I have Pokemon Gold and Silver. And then I put Harvest Moon just because I liked Harvest Moon games.
I love
And
Harvest Moon games.
The Game Boy one was back before they had like made 1 billion of them, so it was actually a really, really good version of Harvest Moon. And,
Yeah,
though that's a Game Boy Color era of handhelds for me.
Okay, cool. I can agree with you on Pokemon. I did not play any of them except for the first one. I was there in '98 when it first came out,
Dude,
and
get
for
the
whatever
new one
reason,
when it comes out. Since you have a 3DS, I'll
You know,
play with you.
I'm a-
and then we can play Pokemon.
I'm a sucker for first-party Nintendo titles. I'll check it out.
Oh,
I'm actually, I'll
yeah.
check it out.
Do it,
It's
dude.
good. I mean, you can skip because I mean the formula is so samey that you can skip, games and play. Keep things moving along. Anybody?
I had the the Game Boy Brick when that came out. Mine was probably Super Mario World. No, it's not Super Mario World. Super Mario Land.
1 or 2?
The first one.
Oh no, the first one sucked. 2 was so good.
I know 2's good.
2 was so good. The first one was trash.
The fireball just keeps going up.
It's Mario 1, but like someone who didn't know what Mario was.
I didn't get that till way later on. Like,
Okay.
I was like way more grown.
It meant something to
I'm
you.
also being a giant snob. So.
Yeah. Shut up, asshole. Wait your turn. All right. So, Super Mario Land. A lot of good memories with that. Tetris. And there was a really shitty Turtles game.
I
for
played
the Game
that.
Boy.
Oh my god,
But
yes.
it's really bad.
You had to find the other turtles to beat them.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's really bad. But I don't know. I couldn't stop playing it. It's probably just because like it's one of the games that came out. And you're like, here, just
You just wound up with the games.
Yeah.
When
So-
you were
I mean, yeah.
just somehow you had them.
Yeah.
Pop it in.
Yeah, I knew it was bad, but I just loved playing it over and over and over and over again. So, those are my 3. Yeah.
Cool.
Mine would be Pokemon Blue because that's the only one I had, which is still great. This weird puzzle game called Quark where you're a tomato and you have to you push boxes to get through puzzles. He was also a character on Video Time, which was a terrible cartoon
I was
show.
just saying the character sounds familiar, but not a game. That might
Yeah,
be
he was
why
a
I know
game.
the
He's a
character
tomato
then.
who wears sunglasses. It was really dumb.
That
but
sounds dope.
it was a cool game.
I'm gonna get that tattoo.
Nice.
And
Now
then
this
the
is-
Ninja Turtles game I
This is
played like crazy.
pre Veggie too, right? So this is
Yeah, way
Yeah.
before
Well,
that.
this is like when California Raisins was popular.
Oh yes, man.
The
California
cool
Raisins.
spot game.
There you
Yeah.
go. Surprised no one talked
Rude
about
Dog.
that. Super
I don't know if you guys
Nintendo.
remember
Yeah.
Rude
I actually
Dog.
like that game. It was good.
Which one?
Do you remember Rude Dog?
Oh, Rude Dog was rude.
Yeah, the other one was Ninja Turtles that Percy played. I played that like crazy when I was a kid.
What are the odds that that's the one you guys are both talking about?
Game's awesome. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
I don't know how I got it. I couldn't even tell you.
Here, just had it. One
Yeah,
day.
Game Boy. I mean Tetris, Link's Awakening, and Mario Land 2.
Yeah,
Rabbit.
there we go.
Rabbit. I played them both, but
Because there were the space levels and the rabbit ears. Like they had the
was
best.
more refined. It
It
was
had
more
the best power ups out of
I, mean,
it.
I agree
will
with you.
say-
It was the
Yeah.
better of the games. It
I will
was
say,
awesome.
I do remember Super Mario Land 1 being, I think, in like 1st or 2nd grade. Somebody on the playground having a Game Boy and the first appearance seeing it, and just the crowd of kids pass around. I got like a minute or 2 with it.
Oh my god.
I liked
Yeah.
it. Awesome, right?
That's one of those experiences that you're just like
For,
It's
ever changing you.
I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm playing this in a school.
yeah.
Don't let him see this huge brick.
That's not going in my pocket.
No.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Game Boy. I mean, I stuck with the brick, but I mean,
That's how I started.
I got
where
a
do you
pocket.
break it though? Where do you the advance? Do you cut the line with the Game Boy, or I don't know? Because I mean, it's just totally
The
different.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color to me, I kind of
Same. Yeah.
punched together.
So Link Awakening's DX. So there you go. Moving on. Anybody?
Moving on.
Next generation? Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Saturn. Pick one. Pick two.
I'm gonna go with the Saturn.
Yeah, that was cool.
I knew one kid who went with that direction.
Yeah, I knew what. Everyone knew that one kid who ended up with a Saturn.
And that kid was always an only child because
There you
his
go.
parents were like, "Yeah, I'll get you that," and then next week I'll get you what you really want.
He later killed himself.
Oh,
Actually-
dark Percy.
I was gonna say he got arrested for pirating movies, but
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I don't even know if I never owned a Saturn. Never.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I own one now, but it was more the whole I'm gonna go
Ironic.
back and grab one kind of thing. Yeah, everyone knew the dude with the Saturn. There was 6 games, and so it's like, why would I own this?
Yeah.
I remember 3 Dirty Dwarfs was an awesome game. Did you ever play that?
No, I didn't.
3-player beat 'em up, and it was
Ooh, that
really
sounds
clever. It was really great hand, like not hand, but pixel art. Really great. That's probably the best Saturn game.
Yeah, I don't know. Virtual Fighter I played, but so it's either gonna be 64 or PlayStation. It sounds like.
I made a list for both.
Okay, let's go ahead. We're hitting these quick, so.
To me, they were both pretty important. I mean, obviously, Smash Brothers is like. I'm always surprised. Apparently, Smash Brothers is way more important to me than it was to a lot of people growing up. I loved Smash Brothers.
I played an
more than
entire
anything.
summer, every day, every weekend
Yeah.
in the summer that we went to my friend's house. We played Smash.
It was like the
every
most
day.
important fucking game in the universe. And then I really, really liked Star Wars Pod Racer. It's a fucking good game. It ruins controllers.
Yeah.
You do a lot of grinding, and the N64 controller was notorious for grinding out
Yeah.
and just not working.
The joystick.
It will fucking destroy your controllers.
Did you ever do the
I
dual
really
64
liked it.
controller with the left and right hand? You can
I used to
actually-
do that.
No.
You
Yeah, you can do 2 controllers. Amazing.
Smart.
control
Still
different
terrible. But
joysticks.
That would have been awesome. I didn't even know it existed, and I loved that game.
Did you?
Yeah, I really.
It was fun,
But
dude.
I eventually had to stop playing it because I was fucking destroying controllers.
Yeah.
And then Rogue Squadron was a huge game for me on N64.
especially the surprise in that when they released that, hey, there's a hidden chip in here in the new movie, which they released the game years before the movie, and it was
way before.
yeah, and it was still in there. It was so crazy when that happened.
But and it's weird, 3 Star Wars games because I almost put Shadows of the Empire on there as well.
I remember
there was
that.
some good Star Wars
That
games
was-
on the N64. Weird.
Shadows of the Empire was like one of the first launch games.
It was like a third-person shooter,
yeah.
more like what we see nowadays, just way back in the day.
And it was its own story too, right? It was,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're a different character.
and Dash Rendar's the
Dash
fucking
Rendar.
coolest dude.
Yeah. Kind of hard to go back and I remember going back and trying to play it later. You know, it was one of the first 3D action games. So
Yeah, it's clumsy
results
as shit now.
Cool, man. Is that 2 or 3 for you? Is that...
That's my 3 for the N64.
Okay.
For my N64 experience, I didn't get N64 right away. I didn't have any money, and all our brothers had to put the money together to end up getting it. So we got a used one because we just couldn't afford a new one.
That's what I did. I was
And we
super
borrowed a Mario 64 from a friend because he didn't play it anymore. So that would be number 1 on my list because I remember the first time at a store holding a Nintendo 64 controller, not knowing how to hold it because you're like,
Yeah.
how do I hold this
What do I
monstrosity?
do?
Yeah. But playing that for the first time and just being blown away about like, we are in the future. This is officially the future. And I was just,
It's kind of
still amazing. I can still play it today even though it's not super amazing. Like it's not as good as I like.
It's
you-
amazing how right they got it for the first time.
Yeah, but-
controls, Z targeting things.
I guess it's just when at time in my kid space where I was just thinking it was how perfect it was, and going back, it's not as perfect as I remember it.
That's what I thought about Star Fox because there's always those demo units with those 2 games on them and like Walmarts and shit, and you really were like, oh my god, these are perfect.
These are
How-
mind-blowingly
How are
realistic.
games like this?
They'll never get better than this ever.
Yeah.
So that would be number 1. Number 2 is probably Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah.
Me and my friends would play Perfect Dark every single day during the summer. One summer, literally every day. It's all we did. We'd play. We'd put the same CD in every single time. Listen to it. Now I can't even listen to that CD because it's ruined. Like I can only think about Perfect Dark. And we actually bought this thing from Nintendo Power called the Arena, which was a cardboard thing you put on your TV to screen divide it,
I see
so
that,
no
yeah.
one could see your screen.
Dude, that rules.
So we had this, and my mom actually worked at a hospital, so we had a hospital table, like a bed table, so you could it has a crank, so you can lower and raise it, so you can have it perfectly on the TV. So 2 people would sit next to the TV, literally next to the TV, facing away from, and you look into a mirror of your screen, and then the other 2 people would look straight into the TV. So we would play, and we actually would.
This sounds so elaborately
It's
awesome.
so like ridiculous, but we actually would record it on VHS when we were
Awesome.
playing it, and then we'd watch it after we were done playing for a couple hours, and realize we'd be right next to each other, be like just backwards to each other for the whole time. We're like, no wonder I couldn't find. We were next to each other the whole time.
That's
But we
awesome.
literally played for an entire summer, every single day.
Yeah, that game
And we
was-
had so much fun.
Yeah. Obviously, you had the expansion pack too,
Oh, I remember that.
wanna
I
say-
don't know why.
because it made the game so much better.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
You couldn't play multiplayer without it, I don't think.
It's weird. I always use that game as an example of why it sucks that every game is on the internet and patches immediately. But that game, you know how there are all the challenges,
Yeah.
and you can do every
And
you have
the
to do every
bots were
challenge with
insane.
each with like 1 person, 2 person, 3,
Yeah.
and 4. One of the challenges you couldn't do with 3 without it freezing, and you had to send your cart away, and they'd fix it, but it would lose all its data.
What?
And so me and my friends, we did every single challenge with 1, 2, 3, and 4, except for one challenge with the 3-person team because we couldn't. It was physically impossible unless you sent it to them to get the
It's
new
like
card.
Battletoads. And then the third one would have to be Ocarina of Time, just because of the life-changing event that game was at the time. I remember going to the Best Buy to pick it up, and there's a huge line.
Yeah.
People were staying up, and they had a cart full of them, and they're like, "Let's see your number before I can give you one." And I didn't pre-order it. My friend had an extra one, so I went with him and got lucky enough to get the gold box and gold cartridge.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So I got the special edition and everything. And I remember getting home and walking around in Karaoke Village the first time and just being like, I thought Mario was the best thing ever. Now this is just perfect. They could not get better than this.
Yeah.
I just remember being this like zen place playing that game. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I guess I'll kind of jump on the end of that. Perfect Dark, I'll have to say that was just one. It was either 007 or Perfect Dark, but I mean Perfect Dark for me.
It was basically a sequel to
more complete,
GoldenEye.
more modes, introduced bots, awesome stuff. My number 2, or my second choice, would be WCW vs. NWO Revenge.
I fucking love that game.
Right?
Wrestling
Love that
games
game.
had their heyday on the N64. That was
4
when wrestling
players,
games were the fucking best.
Made by THQ, arguably the best wrestling engine to this day, I would
by
say.
so good.
I wish they would remake games.
Yeah,
wrestling
Personally,
games.
dude, it was fun, man.
awesome.
So much
Nice.
time just battling, and you can kind of like go in and kind of create, customize some
you
stuff
can
to
make
a
the
certain
creator
extent.
wrestlers were really, really
Yeah.
good.
We made the A-Team
Intro
when we
music.
were kids. We made the whole
Yeah.
A-Team. Oh, it was so good.
I love those games.
Badass.
It seems like I don't know what they
I
do
can
with
still
wrestling
play it.
games nowadays, but
They're
not
terrible now.
They're not fun. I don't know.
Except
Go
for that
back and do a fucking
Superstar,
N64.
the
Yeah.
WWE Superstars one that they made where they're overly
Okay. The
All-Stars?
That was
That was
really
fun.
fun
That
because it
was
was so
fun.
ridiculous.
I actually wanted. It looked interesting enough. So yeah, that game was great. I think you might be able to agree here too. Just great arcade game. NFL Blitz for the 64.
Oh, well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That was the definitive
Blitz.
version of Blitz.
Definitive version. Just fucking Blitz home console version. Just fucking.
You love these home console versions. Where do you get these?
I couldn't afford the arcade unit.
No, I
afford
meant
the
like the
arcade.
virgins you're getting.
Versions.
You keep saying virgins.
Do I say versions?
Yes.
No, I'm saying versions.
But yeah, Blitz on the N64 was so good. It had
Oh,
the,
it's so great.
The
The
show's
make your
long
own
enough.
play,
Let's go ahead
too.
and argue about how
you can-
enunciating was.
That's
The best part was after the play, you power bomb the person after the play was over. Oh my
That was the
god.
best
yeah,
thing
I always
to do.
remember, I would always leg drop.
One of the things that kind of like sucked about that game, and kind of like the era of those games, was like the rubber banding mechanic.
Oh, totally.
You couldn't just win. It seemed like very like artificial,
And
built
you could
into.
break it with the creative plays.
Yeah. So.
Have two long bombs in
Yeah.
a different corner, and just which guy does he decide to defend? Because I'm throwing it to the other one.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 done.
Awesome.
Percy.
Okay, so yeah, we never got a 64. It was a PS1. So, one of the games would one of my top ones would be Tekken 3. Fucking amazing. I mean, I remember playing Tekken 1 and 2, but Tekken 3 is where it was at. I'm not sure if you guys are.
I've never been able to get into Tekken.
Yeah.
I was always a Bloody Roar 2 guy.
Well, Bloody Roar was awesome as well. I mean, that was a cool,
We'll get to my list.
fun
but
game as well. But
I was more
yeah,
of a Shido Blade.
that was fucking awesome.
The
One hit
auto
kill. Sick. You gotta be careful with that one. But yeah, Tekken 3, hours upon hours playing that game just over and over, and now I have moves just memorized in my head, combos still to this day. So
Nice.
that actually got me into the Tekken series like super hardcore. So I still play that now. I will say a racing game, R4. Ridge
That
Racer
was
4.
wait, wasn't that on PS2?
No.
Ridge
PS1.
Racer 4?
It had like the yellow cover,
Yep,
right? And it
yep.
was like a dual disc.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Are you sure Ridge Racer 4 was...
I think I have it on my shelf. I can go grab it. I'm pretty sure I got it.
I'm positive.
It's 4? Yeah.
Yeah, R4.
4?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Go get the fucking
So-
thing. Yeah, so
Keep talking.
R4 it was an awesome racing game. It's actually one of the few race games I actually continued to play forever and unlocked all the super
Alright, yeah.
cars.
Here, you got me,
There
man.
it is, R4.
I must be thinking of R5. Is that the one with the chick on the front? That's yellow?
I think that's the
Or
first
no,
one.
I guess I'm just thinking of this fucking game, and I thought it was on the PS2.
Well, I mean, maybe
that is a
because
good game, though.
Yeah.
the Type
it-
4, maybe that threw you for a loop. Ridge Racer Type 4. I don't know if that's.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Continue on.
That was a good fucking game.
Oh, it's amazing. Like I said, it was one of the few games, racing games, I actually just fell in love with, and I went and unlocked all the cars and everything. So,
It has the best drifting.
Yeah.
The Ridge Racers always understood how to do like fun drifting.
Yeah.
hells yes.
Probably my favorite arcade racer. But
Yeah, it's way fun. I love it. And last one, I've already mentioned it. I gave it to you in the game from when you were here last time. Brave Fence Musashi.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, God, I love that fucking game. So good. That was actually my first PS1 game from when I got for Christmas. My parents.
Nice.
Very nice of them.
interesting.
Yes. Awesome. Love it.
Anybody else want to jump in?
For my PS1 games, I put Metal Gear Solid.
Totally.
To me,
Awesome.
it's one of those
It's so
things that
great.
it hit me late in my life, but I didn't grasp the concept of story in video games until I played Metal Gear Solid. Like, I knew that there could be story in games, but it was never anything I thought about. Then I played that game, and it's like, it was this weird thing, like, someone just, like, was like, oh, you didn't know you can walk? And I got up and started walking around the world, like, oh my god, I can walk. Like, it was this weird, eye-opening moment where it never occurred to me that you could do what he did in that game in a video game. Like, I played RPGs, but that was still always toned down story. It wasn't the same as this. Such an important game for me.
Easy to forget how just like huge that game was.
Yeah, it was
impactful.
There were not like every game is still chasing what he did in Metal Gear Solid 1. Like that is what every game tries to be now. The big cinematic adventure, like it was crazy. And then another RPG, I had talked about it before. Star Ocean 2 is my favorite RPG on the PS1. I really like that game. And then Silent Bomber. Did you guys ever play Silent Bomber? It was really, really late in the PS1. I want to say that's probably why a lot of people didn't play it. It's hard to describe. It was like you're a dude with a lot of bombs. It was fucking super fast. The frame rate, their whole thing was like, oh, frame rate's crazy. This is the best frame rate on a PS1 game ever. But it was super fast. Really, it was like I don't know. I can't describe it. It's impossible to describe. You're a dude with bombs. It's fucking awesome.
Sounds good. I'm there with you. I like it.
Bombs. Awesome.
And then I Bloody Roar 2 would be my honorable mention.
Nice.
That was the first game I ever got on it. My uncle gave me his old PlayStation 1 and then a box of games, and that was the first one I ever played.
Sick. Honorable mention, Marvel's Capcom.
Ooh, the first one?
Yes.
Oh, but on PlayStation, do you remember how they made you choose characters? How it was the worst? Like, if you choose Spider-Man, I choose Wolverine. Your alternate character is Wolverine because I chose it, and you're
Yeah,
my
I know,
alternate
I
character.
know,
So
but, I mean,
it was so weird that they did it that way.
It was really strange, but I don't know. It's
Oh, I'm not giving you shit. I was like, isn't that just weird though? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know anyone.
Was that
else
like the same
played
thing in
it.
the arcade or just the
No.
PlayStation?
Not the
Was
arcade
that
and not on Dreamcast.
just
All
the
the other
home-
versions of
The home console version? Just that version?
only the version on the PlayStation.
For my PlayStation would be Metal Gear 2. I mean Metal Gear 1. The game's just still great. And then there's this weird game called Theme Hospital, which is like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but you build a hospital, but all the ailments are made up, like balloon head. So you had to get a device to deflate people's heads, and if you didn't hire like custodians, people would just vomit all over the floor and then slip in it and fall.
Okay.
It was like ridiculous, but it's so much fun just because how ridiculous over the top it was, and I made the best hospitals. I think I could probably.
course.
You
make a
seem
hospital.
like someone who'd make the best.
I can make a
hospitals.
really. If balloon head was a problem, I think I could solve that.
If you like
Or-
hospitals, you'll love airports.
This one
Airport.
seems a little
Check
bit
it
more
out.
fun, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
And then
It's probably a lot cheaper, but
I don't know if I can think of another one. There's this weird RPG that involved like it's called Dragon something, and like it was an RPG that guy can turn into a dragon, but it was like
Legend of Dragoon.
The Logic Dragoon.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Legend of Dragoon is real.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
game was cool.
That game was really good.
Other than that, I
It's
didn't.
better than expected,
I didn't get it
honestly.
till late, so I
Sony
know
Computer
a lot.
Entertainment.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
that would be it. And Vagrant Story or Vagrant Story.
Oh,
Whatever
I
it was.
love Vagrant Story. I remember like, why is his name Ashley? That's a dumb name. But now I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
Here's my sons Ashley and Ashley.
My daughter Chris.
And then Pokemon came out. His name is Ash. That's short for Ashley. He's a badass.
Everyone's the best.
Yeah, PlayStation, good console. My 3, kind of going with Percy a little bit. Brave Fencer Musashi for me was one of my first introductions to SquareSoft. Love Zelda, SquareSoft's action third-person Zelda game, kind of great music, love it. Number 2 would be Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah,
The original?
That game was so, dude.
Just-
if anyone our age that didn't start skateboarding because of that video game is a fucking liar.
Or wish you were.
I wished I couldn't. I didn't have the balance.
But everyone tried.
I tried.
Everyone went and ended up getting a skateboarder.
I think I was-
skateboard 'cause of that game.
I remember the conversations in school, like, did you find the VHS on this level? Did you find
Yeah.
Where's
Where's
the
the
VHS?
Where's that?
Where's the
Yep.
tape, man? I can't find the K in skate, man. Where's
Where's
the
the
K?
T in the school?
That was like one of the few games that there would actually be go to a buddy's house and there'd be like 8 or 10 of us there just passing the controller around doing quick runs. Awesome game. And then Tekken 2 for me personally. I love Tekken. I didn't get Tekken 3 till way later, but I love playing the single player mode. Getting the special endings for each character was always fun, very unique. 1, 2, 3. Honorable mention.
Tekken endings.
My honorable mention. Twisted Metal 2.
Oh, I love Twisted Metal
yes.
too.
Nice.
Might
nice.
be the definitive Twisted Metal. Maybe not.
Yes.
My favorite.
When I think of Twisted Metal,
Yeah.
I think of Twisted Metal too.
Just bright colors. Before it got too dark and gritty, it was still kind of fun, cartoony, but just solid. I think Twisted Metal 3 had some new engine. It was really weighty and weird.
Yeah, I remember being really
Yeah.
weird. And I didn't like the characters. They
Yeah.
changed.
Well, that's because it was made by 989
Yeah.
Studios.
Yeah.
And they fucked it up.
They fucked up pretty much every license.
Everything they
touched.
had. Yeah.
What about 3 Extreme?
Those were fucking ugly ass games.
Yeah,
Remember
they were
those?
the ugliest fucking
Oh my
games.
god, toasty.
Anyway,
Do
so
a triple front flip and it's like,
PlayStation, good console. PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube.
All right, Ian, go.
I had a GameCube and a PlayStation 2, but GameCube wise, I'd say.
are we putting Dreamcast in this section too?
Honorable mention Dreamcast. So fuck it, we'll just pick two consoles to
Okay,
talk about.
2 consoles. I did have a Dreamcast and I love it, but I won't go into it.
I know, right?
I love my Dreamcast. I still have it today, and I love it. Okay, so back to GameCube.
Yep.
I'd say Pikmin, because Pikmin was different from Nintendo, and I like different, and I love that game.
Cool. Never played them, but I want to.
Probably Wind Waker, because it was so different, and I remember being upset watching that first round and being like, what the hell are they doing? And then you play it, and you're like, they knew what they were doing. And then the other GameCube game that really was great. I'm gonna go. Okay, this is gonna sound bad, but Spider-Man 2.
No, Spider-Man 2 is the best superhero game ever made.
Yeah, it's so great, and I had so much fun playing that. Or X-Men Legends 2 was also amazing
Ooh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
That game was
Good
so
game.
much fun to play.
Spider-Man 2 made by Treyarch, right?
Yeah.
That was Introduced web swinging, open world.
It was an
Awesome.
open world superhero game that
Yeah.
didn't suck.
I just fucking swung around the city.
I mean, it became
Hey, you could just do that, yeah.
it was the template for almost every superhero game for like years afterwards.
Good stuff. Yeah, GameCube. Didn't get it till way later, so I'm not gonna touch it. Anybody else do GameCube stuff?
No.
I'll just go. I did every
Quick
system.
hits.
So I'll say really good. Paper Mario was really, really good, and Wind Waker as well. That was the first Zelda game I truly. Again, I keep saying that, but it was the first Zelda game I was like, oh my god, I really love this game.
Yeah.
But Paper Mario's just a really, really good RPG.
Yeah. It's funny too. Fucking Wind Waker, probably one of the most timeless games. Just the art style. Go
Yeah.
back, enjoy it, play it.
Yeah, you could go back and play the game now, and you wouldn't feel like you were playing a super old game.
Yeah, I don't know, nothing GameCube for me. Moving PS2, Xbox.
Yeah, the PS2. Grand Theft Auto 3
Oh yeah.
was holy shit.
Before that game came out, I was predicting to all my friends it was going to be a big flop.
Oh,
I remember because I liked the 2D ones. I was like, "Good, look how stupid it looks. You guys are all idiots for liking it," and it turns into the biggest fucking franchise in the universe.
like here's
I
a
couldn't have
crow.
been more wrong.
Yeah. The 2D ones were good though. I will say it was a lot of fun.
No, I still had fun playing the first and second one.
But
Even
I was
though-
shitting all over it at the time.
Oh.
Like, I was like, "Yeah, nice rocket launcher. Pff, looks like shit. You guys are idiots." I was the wrongest guy on the planet.
And then let's see, God of War. When that came around, tons of fun with that game. Good God, good God of War.
Stand up, swing a fake golf club.
It's a toss up between Manhunt and Tekken Tag Tournament. So I'm not sure which one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's a tie between those two.
That counts. That works.
All right, perfect. All right, works for me.
Manhunt. I'll get to it eventually. The first tag game was that the first Tekken for that system?
Uh,
Right, the tag was the first PS2 Tekken, right?
I think so.
remember
Yeah, I
a
think
lot of hype
so.
for it.
And then it was the first obviously Tekken Tag. So I don't know. It's just a cool element being able to switch, characters and everything like that. So it was cool.
Very good.
Tons of fun playing it. So awesome.
PS2, Mike.
SSX3.
Ooh,
I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it is the best sports game ever made. It did open world perfectly. It did snowboarding perfectly. It did everything perfectly. I can go back and play that game right now. It's SSX3 it's on my top 10 of games of all time.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 12. It's my favorite non-Super Nintendo Final Fantasy. I know a lot of people didn't feel it. I liked 12 a lot. And then this is really weird, but since we were bringing up licensed game earlier, The Thing. Did you guys ever
Oh,
play
yeah,
it?
that's a cool game.
That was
fun
actually
game.
a really, really, really good game, and I happened to play it on the PS2, and it was just I didn't expect it to be any good. It was licensed. I didn't know anything about the movie or anything, but I ended up.
Same story arc as the movie, different before.
It's
after?
the same station. I think you're people that came to inspect it or something, but like random people get infected in your party. It's never the same. Even if you die and come back, it might be different. You have to test people, and the game played really well. I remember it was like a third-person game, but with puzzle. It was just it was a surprisingly good game.
Sweet.
Agreed.
Sweet. PS2, Ian.
PS2, I'd go with. There's a weird, obscure game called Psyops. Do you guys ever play that?
Brain Gate Conspiracy.
Yeah, okay, that was a dumb whatever, but they should make another one of those because
I'm surprised they haven't.
It's a game where you start off and you can use guns, and then you get psychic powers, and then you're like, well, I don't need these guns.
I'm just gonna catch everyone on fire.
And it's amazing. The game is, and you can play it any way you want to play, which is really cool. And it was actually graphics still hold up. I was actually playing a couple months ago because I'm like, I want to see if this still looks good. Then I'm gonna go with the Warriors because that's tons of fun to play with somebody.
Wasn't that game
me
really
and
good?
Me and my friend, we literally played the entire day and beat it in one sitting, and we just did not stop.
Love that game.
Also good, like it was a good throwback to the movie, but also a good throwback to like beat 'em ups
Yeah.
again. It's just,
It felt like an old.
and it's so much fun,
So
like
great.
playing,
Love the music, love the world, the
And
ambiance.
then the other one would probably be Final Fantasy X. It gets a lot of flack, but
I think 10's
that's
great.
the first one that really got me into RPGs and at a level that no other RPG did it before. Like I did like 99 hours of that game.
Well, that
I
game's
got
more
all the
important.
special weapons. I leveled up like crazy.
That game's more important than people give it credit for. Like people take for granted that games are all voice acted these days.
Yeah.
When Final Fantasy X came out, the idea that the entire game was voice acted was like people said they were crazy. They're like, "What do you can't do that. That's impossible." Like it was nuts how much voice acting was in.
Even if it's terrible, it still has a lot of voice.
The game is beautiful, a lot of bright colors, the scenery.
It looks
The
amazing.
graphics actually really hold up too
Yeah.
because I replayed that not too long ago. It still looks really good.
I think I'm gonna sit down and play it again.
It's a
HD remake's
it
coming,
aged
right?
really well.
HD remake's coming, I think, right? Didn't they announce the 10?
Vita, it's 10 and 10.2 on the PS3, and then separate on the Vita.
Oh, I'm gonna get it then, definitely.
Cool. Reason to buy a Vita, potentially. Or PS3. I might get
And it's an HD like jump up like they.
I do want one.
Oh, sweet. I'm
everything,
gonna totally get it. Do
fun.
they do re-voices or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my 3.
PS2, I didn't get to way later, so my titles reflect the age in the system. Shadow of the Colossus for me.
Yes, such a fucking good game.
Great game.
How the fuck did I miss that?
Right.
I know.
That was gonna-
Right?
that was gonna be my
Yeah,
honorable
this is the
mention.
thing. Is
That's
that we're
when-
all gonna be doing that.
Yeah. So I mean, like, when I think of this, these
And
games.
Ico,
Yeah. Oh man, great stuff.
God damn it.
Third one might come, might not. For me, look at my words here. Onimusha.
I really liked
Ooh,
that.
yeah,
was
I
awesome.
didn't
That was
like
fun.
Resident Evil games, but
Yeah.
I was okay with the tank controls in Onimusha. Just the way it played was really
Love
good.
those games. The third one specifically with the Jean Reno.
oh yeah.
Just like the graphics had like the fixed camera angle, so they really could do like the rendered backgrounds. Awesome
It was
fighting
beautiful.
mechanics.
It's a
beautiful.
shame that
I
property
forgot John
died.
Reno
Yeah.
was in that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah,
man.
There was
Should
a
go back
rumor
to
it was
that.
going to be in Capcom versus Marvel's Capcom 3. He was going to be in there, and
That'd be great.
hopefully that would get people interested enough to kind of bring it back.
And did they do?
They
did
did
like
have a fighter, didn't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say
they
that.
had a fighting
They
game.
had a Smash Brothers type game.
Yeah,
Interesting
I
for that
thought it was
license.
I thought it was just like a fighter. Like,
It's 4
I-
players at once.
oh wow.
I really would. That's a game that
Great.
a series they should bring
Hopefully,
back.
I mean they skipped
Agreed.
it on
Agreed.
PS3,
It
so
would be
maybe
so easy.
PS4 might come back.
It'd be such an easy game with games like Bayonetta
That game
and
was
shit like that.
scary,
Like you
too.
could just make it something like that.
Scary, demonic,
Yeah.
real world stuff. Awesome game. Great trilogy. And then to finish off PS2 for me, iconic gaming, transcending Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah.
Mixed reactions.
I would go Guitar
love
Hero 2.
Guitar Hero. Okay, for
If
me,
I was gonna have to choose one of them,
yeah, for me, just because I got it first, that's the emotional choice. But Guitar 2,
I
Guitar Hero
bought
2.
into all that stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
awesome.
became Rock Band guy and buy
Fun.
lots of DLC guy. So
Yeah, that was before I
Hey,
got a
me
little
too.
crazy with the Rock Band because you have to store all these plastic instruments. But it was just fucking fun gameplay.
I remember the first time my friend had that, and I've never heard it before. I went to his house, and he's like, "I have Guitar Hero. We should totally play." I'm like, "What the hell is Guitar Hero?" And he obviously has been playing this for a while. And he shows me the first time, and he's just ripping at it, mind you, on whatever. And I'm like, "I can't play this game. This is your. I'm not going to be that good." And I'm like, "No, you can do easy." I'm like, "Okay." It's fun. It's really fun. Sadly, it's really fun.
It was unheard of, the idea.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a
playing
tough
purple
sell,
game
man.
so much. Yeah.
I remember at work, we had a work party, and I actually brought it. It was like when Guitar Hero 1 came out. Like, I bring it out, they're like, "What the fuck is this plastic guitar, buttons?" Nobody talked about me bringing it out. Eventually, we not talked about it. It went away. And 6 months later at the party, fucking boss is rocking Guitar Hero 2. Everybody was enjoying it.
No one walked away from that game unsatisfied.
Great gaming. So, yeah. For me, PS2, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I don't know. Just a real quick to go back to shitty turds. Brave Fencer Musashi sequel on PS2 really disappointed me.
Bad.
Terrible. So,
I have it. It's
So awesome.
not even like a skeleton of the original game, just shitty.
No, it's just not fun.
Well, it's what they did with Xenogears when they handed it off to Namco. They did the same. Square handed off a ton of their properties to other people, and the sequels were all bad.
Could potentially a franchise that would be great to come back in HD. Brave Fencer game could be dope. So cool. Xbox.
I really liked. I mean, I was a Halo 2 guy, like playing online. Like I played so much fucking Halo 2 online. It was ridiculous. Like, and the idea of Xbox Live was crazy to me. That I was playing with people, like, because I played some Quake 3 on Dreamcast, but it wasn't really the same. Xbox Live was kind of a big deal. I felt like I was in the future, and
Halo
so I
2
played a ton of that.
multiplayer.
I played Phantasy Star Online because you could do split screen with multiple people, and on the Dreamcast I always really liked that game, but I couldn't play with my friends. Then all of a sudden, get on the Xbox split screen, I could play with 4 of my friends a game. I like Diablo games and stuff, so I could play that, and it was this weird rebirth of a really old game, where all of a sudden we're all fucking loving it because we're playing together on the Xbox.
Yeah, they re-released it on GameCube too. I did that on GameCube with 4 players.
Yeah, I think they did put it on GameCube and Xbox, and then PS2 ended up getting one, but it wasn't as good. But that was just kind of like a me thing on that one, just because it was the 4 players and we all kind of hit it. It was really, really fun. And then a game right before Majesco stopped making games, they made a game called Phantom Dust. It was a really, really good game. It was like I'd say it was a card-based RPG fighting game that you play against people. Like if you like customizable card games and you like fighting games, it was a mix of those two. It was really, really smart and really cool. And then Majesco went out of business, and so that game, everyone forgot about it.
Did a Xbox Live version come out for 360 downloadable, I think? Because it sounds familiar.
Maybe.
I think it might.
It had Xbox Live compatibility on the first Xbox, and it was fucking odd. If they could make that an arcade title, and I guarantee people would love it.
Cool.
So those are my 3 for the Xbox.
The only one that I got an Xbox really late. The only games that I kept after I got it was Ninja Gaiden, because that game's insane.
Awesome.
Then Nunchuck Guy is still difficult.
Ugh, fuck that guy.
And
Fuck
then-
that game, actually.
And then the other one would be Shenmue 2, just because I love the Shenmue series,
Yeah.
and I want them to continue that. I wish they would.
Yeah. So, did you go black on Ninja Gaiden or just the regular?
Just regular.
Okay.
I never played that one.
Cool. I think it was just
That
more
game
of
is
like
still gorgeous, though. That game looks amazing. Mind you, I haven't played
Yeah,
it.
it does actually. That game does look. That game showed off that the Xbox was pretty powerful.
it was a
when it
powerhouse.
wanted to be.
It was. I was jealous of the
I know.
On PS2, I was like, oh.
I can't believe they didn't
I
release
saw
that.
my brother he's playing Black.
Black 2 was fucking just
Well, yeah,
beautiful.
he's playing Black, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I bought it on my PS2. I'm like, holy shit, this looks horrible. Horrible. Or Burnout. It's like, Burnout looks so
Yeah,
good.
Burnout. The frame rate was so much
it
smoother
looks
on
so
the
good.
Xbox.
It was just.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
they had a tangible difference back then. My Xbox games, for me, because made that choice first. So Halo 1 and just doing the whole LAN experience before Halo 2 came
That
out.
was so much fun.
It's a little different too, opposed to like the multiplayer online too. Just being in a room with like in the next room next to you, there's 4 other dudes. And
You
there's
hear
8
people yelling.
Yeah,
You're playing Capture the Flag, and you know there's somebody
buddy.
like, yeah, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Where are they?
And you gotta drag your TV around.
drag your TV around. Yeah, small choices had to be made, but it was worth it. Soul Calibur 2 as well.
Oh yeah.
For me, probably
But
like
Spawn was in your version, right?
Spawn was in my
Yeah.
version. Love Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 was probably one of the last like balanced Soul Caliburs. 3 they got a little weird and with the creative player in the third PS2 version. But yeah, Soul Calibur 2, just new characters, refined game fighting system, beautiful fucking game on the Xbox. And number 3 for me, first person shooter, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
I've never been able to get into that.
You
game.
never. Oh,
I understand its appeal. I totally get it. It's just one of those games where, for whatever reason, I even re-downloaded it because they released a Vita only version. Just as like, maybe I'll appreciate it more now. I totally get its appeal. I understand it. For some reason, I've never been able to get into it. And I'm jealous of people that have.
Something about like the creativity and like the QD weapons at first are a little bit could rub you the wrong way, but like just the boss design, character design, and the actual design of the levels and how you work with the environment. Just a very fun, unique, original game. So
it reminds me a lot of
1, 2, 3.
BioShock, actually. I think the reason people like BioShock is the same reason people might like Stranger's Wrath, who never gave it a shot.
Yeah. So it's great to go back to. I'm curious to see if the HD reversion is PS3 exclusive. So unfortunately, I have to miss out on that. But
I think it is for now.
boom, boom, boom. Honorable mention: Beyond Good and Evil.
Nice.
Oh, that's a cool game.
Love that game. So
I never had an Xbox, but at the time, I was like during college, whatever. My roommates had an Xbox, and I played through Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was an exclusive, wasn't it?
I couldn't get through that game.
Holy shit! I forgot that was an exclusive. Yeah, honorable mention up
that-
my fucking ass right there.
That game was so good.
I loved that game so much.
I was such a PS2 fanboy. Like, fuck you, Xbox. But they're like, come on, just try. I'm
It's
like,
been
all
so
right,
long, I
fine.
forgot that was exclusive.
And I couldn't stop playing this goddamn
BioWare,
game. So good.
mass market title.
Yeah. It was great. And then the ending, whatever, you know.
Yeah. So pretty much
The twist.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
a fucking hell of a twist.
Yeah, I was like,
great game. Great.
good.
I think maybe to end this bad boy on, let's end on Dreamcast, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Dreamcast.
perfect.
Last of the just great old consoles, I think, maybe. Still tangible to this day. Still can pick it up and play it. You guys want to dive in? Top 3?
Shenmue, I love that game. I would play that right now. Even with the bad voice acting, I would play that. That game was just so revolutionary. You're just like, I can go into the store and see all the stuff on the shelves. Wow.
And still to this day, nothing's even kind of came close to that.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Nothing's going that insane in terms of like, let's make this really Japanese for the outside of Japanese culture, just so you can see what it's really like. Like, it actually felt like you were in Japan.
Loved it.
That game I love. Even though it's kind of clunky, it doesn't hold up. Crazy Taxi, I love Crazy Taxi.
That was such a good. It was better than the arcade
Yeah.
version because with a control pad, it was so much better than a wheel.
Yeah.
And the Offspring,
I was
the
about to
three
say- I was
Offspring
about to
songs,
say.
everybody loved
Offspring
those
and Bad
songs.
Religion. That's all you need. And then my last one, Dreamcast. What the hell am I gonna pick?
No pressure.
Yeah, totally.
God damn it. Songs like
There's so many. I guess Soul Calibur,
Ooh,
just
okay.
because that game is so much fun.
That version too, like just that was
so perfect.
arcade in your
It
home.
was a great port.
It's so
Beautiful
perfect.
port. Still to this day, fucking looks incredible. Soul Calibur.
Oh, and Dynamite Cop. Yeah,
Love it.
Dynamite Cop.
Oh, Dynamite Cop ruled.
Right? Honorable mention as well. Maybe not as aged well as the other games, but still fun to go back to. Dynamite Cop.
I'd go with Rez. Big fan of Rez. I just like those type of games. It was basically Panzer Dragoon, but crazier and weirder. Bangai-O. I just like Treasure. Everything Treasure makes is good, and I think Bangai-O is a fucking. It was one of those games where like you go, oh my god, this is the next generation because there's a billion fucking things on screen. It was just really really good. And then a game. It was a first-person shooter called Mach-N X. No one's
Sounds
ever.
familiar.
You have a sword and you stab enemies and then you become them. And it lets you go certain places and fight different ways, and it was a unique idea at the time. Also, that was before first-person shooters were twin stick, so it was a weird, like Perfect Darky type one where like it was you're in the 3D world, but you're really not looking around. It's all just in front of you. But it's still some of the best first-person melee combat because it was primarily melee that I've ever played. I love that game. I'd give an honorable mention to Typing of the Dead.
Oh, great game.
Interesting. Very hard to come by. You have to. That's a keyboard you have to buy into.
Because
quite
had
the commitment.
I had a Dreamcast Online, and so I already had the keyboard, and it actually came with the official Dreamcast keyboard if you bought it, and so that's the only reason I even got the game.
Cool. Yeah,
I got nothing. I never had Dreamcast.
Never
I
had
don't know.
Dreamcast.
Nope.
3 hits real quick. I mean, you kind of got to go with Soul Calibur. I hate to use it in 2 different systems, but I mean, Soul Calibur, that version was just so many hours just lost in that game. Shenmue as well, fucking great. For me, it was 1, 2. And then number 3 to end this piece. I don't know, man. Power Stone. Power Stone 2.
1 or 2.
2?
the game's so unbalanced and broken, but
Yeah,
it's so
it's
fun.
just-
It's
great
still
party
so
game.
fun.
Great party game. Braden had fun. Pre Smash Brothers.
Oh, Choo Choo
party
Rocket.
game. Choo Choo Rocket.
Choo Choo Rocket was the puzzle game that wasn't a puzzle game. And
It's a
so
great party game.
You loved it.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yelling at the top of your lungs.
Was it like Jet Grind Radio or Jet?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
oh,
Jack
shit.
on Radio. I
Yeah.
forgot about that too. God
Yeah.
darn it.
There you
I
go.
always
Megan
liked
Fox.
the way those look, but I can't stand playing.
They were
them.
fun.
Oh, the controls are awful.
Yeah,
I like the second one because
Fun
they
game.
fixed some stuff.
the first
up,
couple
but
levels, but then because once you had to like
Yeah.
get master skills and do precise things,
and the momentum and the lack of a real map, and it's just
big thick lines.
it was cool looking though. I mean, it invented
Yeah.
cell
Oh,
shading.
it looks so cool.
It's hot in here. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of great Dreamcast games.
What's the
but-
one that Knights? What game? What the fuck was it?
Knights.
Knights of
sucks.
Saturn and
Oh,
not a
that's
good
Saturn.
game.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It is
horrible.
not
Sorry,
good.
I mean to go back.
I don't
You
know why
really-
people
It's
look
horrible.
fondly on that game, and I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I don't know why
it.
people look funny on Sonic.
You know, I bought that game to see if I'd have fun with it. I can't.
Did
Yeah.
you buy the HD version? Oh,
Yeah.
it's awful. It's fucking awful.
I didn't, and I'm like, what am I doing? And
Knights was a fancy tech demo. They wanted to show the whole
the control,
3D
the new
movement.
controller
and
they
stuff.
Yeah.
had. They had an
That's all-
analog joystick.
That's all it was.
horrible.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah, so pretty much.
Offense to you fans out there, but
I'm
geez.
sure we
First
missed a lot
timers.
of favorites out there.
Yeah,
Lost
there's
favorites.
tons.
Oh yeah, like I said, when I was putting my list together, there's a million things. I was like, oh, this, and I'm sure I forgot about all of them. But it was so difficult, such a difficult thing to do.
That it speaks for something when we say 3 games that come to us immediately, and these 3 were them. So I feel good about this.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. All right.
Feel free to leave comments of what your favorite systems and games were.
Oh yeah,
We'd like to hear
remind
from
us
you.
about all the stuff we forgot.
all the stuff we
Join
missed.
the conversation.
Yeah, please.
And if you could say it hatefully, that would make it even better.
And how much you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on the Game Boy as well.
Yes. Bring
Game
vitriol.
is so. I just remember that. Like
You
crazy.
never played it?
Oh no, I played it. I just
Oh.
played it. It was just weird that you guys were both like, yeah, we played the shit out of that game.
Some obscure third-party license game.
Yeah.
I think Konami.
Yeah, it was
made
Konami, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's hot in here. This segment is
Very
trickling to the end.
Thank God.
We will catch you guys after the quick break for very quick news.
Yes.
One quick story that I got. I'll try to ramble it on not too long. So be back and catch you guys after the break. And we are back. Dark Side of the Kingdom, episode 6. We got news. We have one news story.
We got new.
Yeah, that works.
We got new.
No, I get it. It took me a second.
Oh, there you go.
E3 is a week away.
It is. Fuck.
I know,
News
right?
is mum. Not too many stories. A lot of things are being saved. Basically, what we're going to talk about is the NeoGAF release of the Xbox 360 games that are potentially going to be released. True, false, who knows? We'll talk about them. We'll see what happens. And take it from there.
Or you should just read the list off.
I'm going to read the list off. We have... I got you, Mike. Great minds. Great minds, sir. I'm going to start. Halo 5. Killer Instinct. Banjo-Kazooie 4. Forza 5. Quantum Break. Halo Spartan Assault. Rise. Fable 4. Crackdown 3. Fortnite. Dead Rising 3. Call of Duty Ghosts. BF4. Battlefield. Witcher 3. Dying Light. Prey 2. Homefront 2. BGE 2. Not sure what that is. Anybody?
BGE.
BGE 2.
Never heard of it.
Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Oh,
Hey,
totally.
that
I
would
love
make
it.
sense.
I
Nice.
love it. I'm excited. Mirror's Edge 2, Rainbow Six Patriots, Brothers in Arms, League of Legends. Discuss.
Now, here's the thing.
How many of those are original? 3?
It seems like it seems legit until you start seeing games like Prey 2, which is
That was
has-
supposed to come out this
It
generation.
got killed, though, right?
It got killed, but then it got brought back, and then it got killed again, and then it got brought back, then it got killed again. So that
It
makes
was
it not
looking
seem
really
true.
cool, too.
The
That trailer E3 years ago.
yeah.
Awesome.
Also, actually, before we go on, I missed out. There's Capcom Next Gen lineup: Dead Rising 3, Dragon's Dogma 2, Darkstalkers Reborn, Marvel Capcom 4, Mega Man, new IP. So there's some
parts of that list seem so unlikely that it makes the parts that seem clearly plausible. It's just I bet it's someone's dream
Now,
list.
there was
and
a screenshot that went along with the list that kind of shows a E3
Seems
style photoshopped. Could be
pretty
more.
easy to make.
So,
Because I did
Don't
see
lift the
that.
veil too much. So, I mean, the
The
things to talk
PowerPoint.
about.
Someone found the PowerPoint presentation.
There you go.
Are we talking 2 new Halo games? That seems kind of.
Do we need 2 new Halo games?
Yeah. Do we need any Halo games?
Does that mean the contract's up? Because weren't they doing 3 more for the companies doing it now?
343 is doing
So
4.
because they just did the last one and then
Yeah.
2 more, so they're just trying
4
to
was
bump up
okay.
the contract. They're like, we want to be done with these contracts.
I mean,
But is it parts of that list just seem so unlikely
Also,
that it's hard to
Capcom
believe?
having
That's-
games that people want. What the
Yeah.
hell is that?
Yeah, I know.
and then Capcom having games ready to show. Like that's
I
like
find
7,
that,
8
like-
titles ready to go.
Okay, Darkstalkers I'd like to play. I don't need another Dead Rising. No offense.
Yeah, I mean, if they make it better,
Okay.
Really?
the potential
I-
potential is there. It just they.
I think they got everything good out of Dead Rising. You
I
had
love the first one. I can go back
Yeah,
and enjoy it
you
for
had
like
fun.
the.
I wouldn't mind a zombie sandbox pick things up.
I don't know.
game.
How about
man,
how
I
about Dead
just-
Rising in like a Grand Theft Auto environment? Full city, the whole
Okay,
city's running
maybe.
array with zombies.
Maybe, but
m-
remember,
bigger
this is
scale.
Capcom and in zombies.
Yeah, they're not going to make anything good.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's
And the Mega Man, the new Mega Man IP.
yeah.
Okay, we've
Wait.
got Mega Man 12
Read that
vintage,
list
or
again.
are we gonna say?
Okay.
I don't think there's gonna be. A
Just-
I can't imagine.
Do you want
it all.
the Capcom list?
the,
Or,
the Xbox list.
Halo 5, Killer Instinct, Banjo Kazooie
Stop.
4.
Okay, so those are both rare. Rare hasn't
Rare.
made a good game like ever since
I think
Super
they make-
Nintendo.
yeah.
Well, they're not even
I mean,
really
64.
rare anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I
So-
will say, I'm not a huge fan of Killer Instinct.
I was
Me
never a
neither.
big fan.
Okay.
I didn't mind it. I didn't
was-
mind it.
But
It
you're
would-
gonna play it again? You think you're honestly gonna play it?
No,
You think you think it's ever gonna be on EVO again?
it might. It depends. I mean, Mortal Kombat's.
It seemed very like cartoony.
Mortal Kombat's good.
Super
I know.
combo.
That's what I'm saying. No one ever thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but rare.
But continuing on.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Kill-
I mean,
Kill-
well,
Killer
no.
Instinct does have a good following.
It does, I don't
And
know
Killer
why.
Instinct 2 too as well
Was
better,
the
so.
Rare Xbox initiative successful?
Fuck no.
Right.
No, God,
Obviously
no.
not.
Right by
Well,
the
they
toys,
bought
Game
them.
of the Year.
They bought them when they weren't good anymore. They
No, they
them at
bought
the
them
worst
so
time.
Nintendo couldn't take advantage.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
the only
Perfect
reason.
Dark.
They weren't
Zero.
a good company anymore.
I almost wanted to include that as my turd for 360.
That game
Perfect.
sucked.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I wanted to like Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
That game.
I
I never
wanted
liked
to.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I was never a Banjo Kazooie guy.
Neither was I, but I liked the vehicle kind of customization. Seemed cool, but you know we are getting two new Rare games, so that seems kind of maybe.
Well, see, that stuff seems likely.
Yeah.
Keep running the list down.
Quantum Break. That
That's
was
the one
new
they
IP.
showed at the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably-
that seems likely.
Halo Spartan Assault.
It has a name that makes sense.
Yeah, Rise.
Yeah. Well, Rise they've been talking about for 2
No,
years.
that
Yeah.
one. No,
It's been an exclusive for 2 years, so that makes sense.
Fable 4. Ian, I know you're excited.
Fuck no.
I fucking
Or
hate.
Mike.
You
could
hate those
not-
games?
No,
They're-
why?
aren't they
The
the
first
worst?
one's good. The first one's good, right?
I just
No.
think
I like the first one.
I like the first one.
Peter
Right.
Mullen is
I'll
not
change
even
that.
involved anymore, right? Because he's
No, yeah,
he's
he
not
has
playing
two
it.
cans
gone.
now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm really
is
not
gone.
interested. But it might be better.
That he actually may be better.
Hey. I mean, because I think with the Fable games, a lot promised, didn't quite deliver on a lot
That's
of the promises.
my problem with all those games. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be all these things. Nah, it's a racing game now.
Going with low expectations, it's all right.
Unless it's an on-rails horse simulator, I'm not interested.
Crackdown 3. The first Crackdown was good.
I loved both Crackdowns.
Was the second one? I heard the second one was like a B team.
Jumping around city, grabbing those fucking green gems is so addictive.
Yeah.
I love those games.
Fortnite, epic
That makes sense.
game.
This is their last game because they're not making games anymore.
Yeah,
think
I think
so,
it's
yeah.
the last game they're making.
Might
It's like-
downloadable only, right, or something. It's like
I
a
don't know,
smaller
I thought
game.
I thought it was it's just cartoony looking.
Okay, maybe not then.
It's like Tower D meets Minecraft.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember seeing that.
Cool. Cool. Call of Duty Ghosts,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Battlefield
Dogs.
4,
There's dogs in that game.
Yeah.
Witcher 3. Witcher's supposed to be a great
Witcher's a
game.
cool series.
Yeah, I really like that series. That would be a good thing to put on consoles
Yeah,
that are really powerful.
Yeah.
Does it say anything
I
about
think
it
they're
being exclusive? or
This is just 360
Just that
list.
they're showing
Yeah,
it?
just
Okay.
they're included. It's like mixed in there with Call of Duty and Battlefield, so you got to assume multi-platform.
Okay.
Homefront 2.
One did terrible.
One was one of the worst games I've ever played.
I never played
I
it.
think that'd probably.
It looked really cool though. Like
The
I wanted to
idea-
like
idea was
it.
The
really cool,
idea
but-
sound, but it was a fucking piss
Yeah.
shit dick.
That game reminded me of Freedom Fighters, and I really liked
Freedom
Freedom
Fighters
Fighters.
was so
It was
good.
such a great game.
Was that the one with like the shark gun or?
There's
No.
like a third-person shooter
It's
on PS2.
Korea's taken over. I think,
Okay.
Is it Russia or Korea?
Or-
to start?
I think it's
forget.
Russia.
I think it's Russia. And just tanks rolling, and you have to run through the streets.
awesome.
It was so good. It's a
Yeah.
PS2 game.
So interesting. So hearsay, truth in this list. Maybe someone had some fun in Photoshop. NeoGAF going wild. Who
The
knows?
League of Legends thing just sounds
Yeah,
really dumb
that-
too.
that
'cause
seems
that's
unlikely.
that's a computer game made for computers, and the people who are
Now-
legitimately into that
Yeah.
don't play on a computer.
Now, if Riot makes a new MOBA for 360, maybe. I've seen a couple people, like there's a Lord of the Rings one on both systems. The controls work really well for consoles, but you can't just.
Yeah.
It's made for a mouse and keyboard. You can't just throw it on there. So maybe they're making a new game, but
It's
I
like
don't
screen
think it's
ratio.
League of
You can't
Legends.
really just translate that. To
Well, and even just the controls, the precision.
And you need to be able to.
There's a difference between pointing in a direction and clicking at a exact
Does it just
spot.
say League of Legends? That's all it says, or is it like League of Legends and something else?
no,
like
just-
it could be in
I
the
think
same.
it's the original. Like you're gonna play with people online. Well,
League of
Microsoft has a
Legends.
problem with that. They don't like you to play with people online.
Yeah, they're
who
very-
are on systems. I mean, like you know, like Steam and they won't let you mingle
like
with
PC.
people on Steam.
kind of thing.
But League of Legends isn't on Steam. But you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
They don't like you to play with people on the internet who aren't.
They had the failed computer Xbox Live initiative that kind of went nowhere. Right?
Yeah.
With
Yep.
Shadowrun and
You get to pay
something
$50 a
else.
year online to play PC games. Right? Sounds awesome.
fun.
That's all I got. Percy, I heard you dropped some PS3 game
I
or
thought-
PS4 game
Well, they were
announcements.
saying that something got let loose as well too, and on PS4's list. And one of the games that was rumored was The Last Guardian.
But that's going to be rumored every year, no matter.
I know,
what.
but-
That's
It's
the
been
thing.
for the last 4.
But I know, but this is one. I think this is like on one of the lists that's like that.
It would make
really
sense.
shows- yeah,
I can imagine it.
I would
but
hope
I
it
just
comes
feel
out
like it's gonna
the
get
first
rumored
year
over
too.
time.
Yeah.
Because if
Now
it
let's-
doesn't, then it's never coming out.
Let's
Well,
talk-
it's one of the lists that like it's like an official list of shit coming out, and that was on there. That's what caught people's eye, and already Sony's like, that's pure speculation.
Now, when was the last public showing of that game? At least like a year or two ago, right? Like,
More than
Well,
two.
that was like
I think
3
it
years,
was- I
3
think
or
it was
4 years
3
ago.
years ago when they
yeah,
nailed it.
over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Promise for PS3. Creative lead left, possibly.
Yeah.
left.
Doesn't bode well. I mean, hopefully, we all love these games. Please come out. Who
Yeah,
knows? I don't know.
Their
It could be
track
good.
record's amazing, so
Yeah, it's good. Let's hope it comes out eventually.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I remember last year or the year before, I think Xbox had their old E3 press conference leaked and ruined, so there could be some truth to this.
Was it really ruined? I think it was ruined
with the announcements and the
when
leak.
they started it and they started talking. You're like, wow, graphs and pie charts.
what is interesting about that is that there's been that rumor about Respawn's new game being exclusive, and that's not on there.
Oh.
And that's very
Yeah, that's
interesting because it doesn't point you in either direction, but it's an interesting thing to note that Respawn's game is not on that list as not being shown at
Interesting.
all.
Very.
And there's
aware
been
of
rumors
that.
that it could be exclusive, but you'd think they'd be showing it in general.
Yeah, some sort of more. Well, they've been teasing.
Microsoft
something,
that's the type of game that they want to put up front, and even though it's not, if it is exclusive, but even if it's not exclusive, they'd still want to Call of Duty and make it be like, oh well,
We're gonna get the maps first.
Yeah, we
and
want
all
it
the
like
extra
Grand
stuff.
Theft Auto and Call of Duty.
What's Bungie's game?
Destiny?
Destiny.
They're-
First look at the PlayStation conference.
Yeah, no,
they
they're.
revealed.
I was gonna say they're getting really buddy with Sony right
Yeah.
now, so it's kind of
That's kind of scary.
not for me.
Like obviously it's going to be on both, but it is interesting
Yeah.
seeing how hard they're
Yeah,
going in that
that's from
direction.
this. I want to see what this game would be like. So
Bungie, new IP. I mean, people have been waiting for new
And
IP
that
from
game
them.
looks
for a
fucking
long time.
pretty cool.
MMO or MMO type gameplay
Oh,
or something? Or
big and open, not
Yes.
MMO. It almost doesn't make sense anymore in these days of games, but the way it's connected, it feels like a Diablo first-person shooter, like Borderlands on steroids type
Yeah.
thing. It seems really cool.
it has my attention. So.
pretty cool stuff. E3, very close.
I'm so
It's gonna be
excited.
pretty exciting.
So
Post.
fucking
We will
excited.
definitely have a post E3 show. You can expect that.
I'm sure we'll accidentally talk about Nintendo the entire
Yeah.
time.
Who's not
Hopefully.
showing at E3?
Hopefully, I hope so.
Oddly enough, I mean, they're a new core Mario game, new Smash Brothers, 2 secret core IPs. I mean, they're showing
Yeah.
stuff.
And I think there's going to be a exclusive Nintendo Direct video or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, there's
So,
gonna be some. I mean, they're gonna have
stuff.
some crazy games there to show people.
some stuff to look forward to, everybody. So
Maybe
Yeah.
we will buy Wii U. Maybe.
good
I'm
to me.
getting thoughts of buying it
I'm
now.
not, I'm
Yeah.
not
This whole,
E3 could
E3
make
will
me
help
buy
out.
one.
This whole
Yeah.
used game business might put off those next systems off.
It's a weird, interesting
Yeah.
point I keep bringing up that maybe Wii U will have that weird thing where everyone's so put off by the super connected
Yeah.
nature of the other consoles that it gets this weird second life as, oh, well, that's your offline option, and
Yeah.
people kind of flock backwards to it for that reason.
That would be so crazy.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't
That
it
would
be
be
weird?
It'd be so.
Wouldn't that be the weirdest shit?
Nintendo's like
4 years from now, the Wii U's fucking top
No,
dog
no,
because
No,
of that.
Nintendo's in the corner. They're like,
Because you got to think,
we got him.
the system's going to be cheaper. By the time those next systems come out, it's
Oh
going to
my
be cheaper.
god, it's gonna be. It'd be so hilarious if
Why
that
not
happens.
buy it? Why not
And
buy
it's
Wii
such
U?
an Nintendo thing to end up
It's, such,
happening.
it's like we knew it was gonna happen. You should have listened to us.
Took some time.
I mean, come on now. When 3DS first launched,
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
or even, excuse me, DS first launched, it was like, the fuck, 2 screens, retarded.
Yeah.
Owning.
Even
Owning.
when they fluke into stuff, like
Owning.
I wouldn't put it past them to fluke
Yeah.
into getting a weird following because people are turned off by the other two systems'
Yeah.
way of handling things.
It's kind of like a big FU. So, yeah, pretty much. News, I'm done. I'm tapped out.
All right. Me too.
Great week, gentlemen.
Records.
TheDrainage.net is a thing. It's a website, pop culture site. That's our home base. Check it out.
Please check out the articles.
Check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, Dark Side of the Kingdom. Catch us here in this iTunes feed next week. We'll have another show for you guys.
Yeah, right.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, so for Dark Side of the Kingdom, this is Dean.
This is Percy.
I'm Mike.
This is Ian.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Later.
See you, Internet.
Hello.
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 Off
Hello.
key.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. We have some work to do.
I said off key.
Ah.
We were terrible.
All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah, worse.
And we
1, 2,
are
3.
not quite back yet.
Sorry.
Another countdown. Why not? 3, 2, 1, right?
3, 2, 1.
We are back. Dark Side of the Kingdom. First segment went great. Went a little long, but hey, fuck it. You guys are here. We're here. Let's